part of the last beat for Huberto where he had 150 points. That was featured with 85 assists.
What's going on, everybody? John out here with you. It's a Sunday matinee game, October 22nd, 2023. How's everybody doing out there today? Let me get you the starting lineups for the 2-2-1 Calgary Flames, coached by Ryan Huska. It sounds like this: Elias Lindholm, Jonathan Huberto, Andrew Mangiapane with Noah Hannafin and Mackenzie Weegar. Nazem Kadri, Adam Ruzicka, Dylan Dubé, Nikita Zadorov, and Christopher Tanev. Michael Backlund, Blake Coleman, and Matthew Coronado. Igor Shankovich, AJ Greer, and Matthew Coronado. Dennis Gilbert and Jordan Osterley will be the back end defense with Jacob Markstrom in net. And for the Detroit Red Wings, head coached by Derek Lalonde, they are 4-1 on the season. Lines sound like this: Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, Jake Wallman, Moritz Seider. JT Compher, Michael Rasmussen with Andrew Kopp, Ben Sherratt and Oli Mana, Joe Valeno, David Perron, and Daniel Sprong. And then Austin Zarnik, Jonathan Berggren, and Christian Fisher. I'm not sure if they're going to put Berggren in the lineup today, but I know Fisher did play the other day. Shane Gostisbehere and Justin Hull will be the defensive side with James Reimer in net. For Detroit, they played the other day, and this is, 25 hours after that from the Canadian Tire Center, come back home in a tough back-to-back with Ottawa. Look, I understand where Calgary is in the standings right now, but this is another back-to-back. The Detroit was able to survive that last year against Calgary when Cooper Hopkins did the broadcast with me. But in this time, you want to be able to pick up as many points as you can in the standings, as I've well documented that 13-game stretch that the Red Wings have to start the year. Now, the game that I started, they lost to the Jersey Devils, so if I don't jinx and go 0-for-2 on the reverse side, because the Wings have been playing well. And the one thing to note before we get into this puck drop, Red Wings power play is 9-for-18 on the season. That is a tremendous 50%. That is not going to last forever, but the one thing that they noted on the Bally Sports Detroit side of the broadcast between Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond is, off that draw, look for a quick puck movement between Dylan Larkin, Shane Gostisbehere, or even some of the other forwards on that side. About a 7 seconds Phoenix Sun style or less to put the puck in the back of the net. And for Calgary Flames, again, they profile on the Detroit side, and Cooper and I have done a lot of these, but they need the big boys to start playing like big boys. Because when you look at Calgary's point totals, again, Elias Lindholm has played excellent, 2 goals, 4 assists, and 6 points. Noah Hannafin as well. And it always works out when you're getting around a contract extension talks, but 4 assists and 4 points. So those two guys are good. On the other side, I like to mention his name a lot, but Nazem Kadri, where's he been? 0 goals, 1 assist, 1 point, and a -4. That has got to change. And again, something, and I know this has nothing to do with Detroit, but last time it was the awful scooter incident for Rasmus Andersson. Now he's not coming to Detroit because from a couple days ago, there was a hit against Patrick Laine going for an empty netter. Rasmus Andersson got the head, even though Laine had his head down. It was a jump in the air. Rasmus got suspended for several games. He's appealing the suspension, but he should not be playing in today's game. Calgary's trying to end the 2-2-1 road stand with a victory. That's what they would have at this point. So when we come back, we will start this game off and see what happens. So, Slender, who's going to win? On that side, if you're throwing a who's going to win prediction in the YouTube side, even though it's a back-to-back for the Red Wings, I'm going to go ahead and take them. The offense has been too good right now as far as the goals for. It's 4.8, and the power play is striking at 50%, so I'm going to go Wings in this one. It's going to be Vladar, actually, in net, so we will definitely get that changed in there, and I will make the notes. But that's what I'm going to go with today in the matinee day game. I'm going to go with the Wings. So let's get into the play-by-play action. It's Christopher Tanev now near the right side of the red line, as this is picked up by Coleman. And now Ruzicka will flip this one down the center for Shane Gostisbehere and Oli Mana with the cross pass to get it into the neutral zone, as Vladar will take a look at it near the right side of the red line. And now behind the cage, Blake Coleman. Try to pick this one up off the back skate. Valeno was there, but this will work in behind the net for big Nikita Zadorov, as this is a good hit along the right side of the boards. And picked up now by Coleman and intercepted nicely at the blue line side by Sider. It's a floating puck. Wallman tried to get in front to provide a screen, and now Calgary quickly pushes the other way. Could be a 2-on-3, but a good back check by the Red Wings. Allow them to get the steal. Move this up to Andrew Kopp as Tanev will find the interception. Gain this in across the red line now and send it down. Mo Sider now out there with Jake Wallman. The top line's out there for Derek Malone's squad. Is Tanev. We'll watch this one off a baseball-style catch with the glove. Be settled down by Rasmussen. Picked up off the backhand by the Flames, trying to turn around and shoot this thing as it's in a couple of bodies here. And the Red Wings able to flip this out of their own end as this will go back to Tanev. So in the mix, as we said, no Rasmus Anderson in this game as he's appealing the suspension. So you might see Hannafin, Uyghur, a little bit of mix of all of these lines for Ryan Huska's squad. Again, you want to keep everybody fresh. On the other side for the Red Wings, usually kind of dress to the 7 defenseman side of it. They go with one less forward. Huberdeau gets one of the Red Wings to stumble, but this is Dylan Larkin now. Off of a 2-on-2. He'll hold off the backhand. Send it out as he's falling down. Nobody home there, but Mata is able to pick this up to the right side. Red line, send it out in front of the net, and scores! Alex DeBrincat, he's done it again, and the Red Wings take an early lead. 18:01 in the first, nothing Dan Vladar could do, and the Cat has been hot. His 6th goal of the season. Oh my goodness. Right out in front of the net near the right side of the paint. It goes 5-hole past Vladar and in, and the Red Wings are already off and running. And I shouldn't be surprised that it's Alex DeBrincat, but it's been that way all year. And again, I've noted this from the Free Agency Frenzy show with Cooper Hopkins when we did that several times. That DeBrincat, even though he's small in stature, he's able to take some hits. He's able to stay healthy and be in the lineup. I don't think anybody expected this kind of production, though. Gostisbehere will fire. This one gets blocked up in the air. And now I'm behind the cage for the Flames. They're desperate to try to get it out. It's DeBrincat from Hull and Raymond. So Hull's going to get his first point of the season as a member of the Red Wings coming over from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this will fall all the way back to Dan Vladar from about 100 feet. And he'll hold on. So one shot, technically one goal. But that clearing on Vladar will count as a save. So the Red Wings have the first 2 shots, and they have the first goal of the game. Again, it's been a reverse jinx for me because anytime I try to broadcast my hometown team, they don't take the win. But against the Flames over the last couple of Cooper Hopkins, I'm not sure who's going to be in there today. They played well on that side. The Flames are still a borderline playoff team to me. I don't think that's going to change much. Again, personnel with Rasmus Anderson, just like it was last year from the scooter incident side, now from the suspension side from the Laine hit. That's a big missing piece for the Flames. He's one of the better defensemen they have in the league. 193 goals since making his debut with Chicago in 17-18 for DeBrincat. Would be most by a Detroit skater in that span. They are showing Jacob Markstrom with the baseball cap on the Bally Sports Detroit side is Daniel Sprong, former member of the Seattle Kraken and Washington Capitals. Now the Red Wings has the puck, and this is picked up by the Flames, and this will be dumped in from 70 feet. Played it off the stick. Look out. That was a dangerous opportunity. If Joe Valena wasn't there, the Flames could have just put that one right in the net. There's a pass off the backhand. Valena will get this in the offensive end, as that was almost an unmitigated disaster for the Red Wings after the goal that they scored. Now in off the back skate. Flames will have this in the road whites with the red pants and the red striping, and the Red Wings in the all red at home. Again, they've switched that several years. It used to be the whites. Again, I am that old to remember that. 36 on this side, but still trying to go strong as much as I can from the Waterford Sharks game in that NHL yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to give a hometown assignment today, though. Andrew Kopp, as this is spinning between the wing wheel logo, and now Nikita Zadorov will spin. Try to keep this alive off the backhand, and another interception by the Red Wings. I don't think Rasmussen held it in, though. But this is a great interception by Sider, right in the middle of the neutral zone. It's like a funny hop. And this will bounce off Vladar's stick as the Flames try to get this out. But here's Wallman off of a pick off a skate, and a nice play for the Flames to keep this one, but trying to keep this alive off the forehand with Sider. Just brush the puck away. Could lead to a 2-on-1. DeBrincat trying to get this one across, and now a slap shot will go wide. This Cop will pick this up on the right side of the wall. And behind the cage, what a blind pass. It was a great feed, but it bounced off a couple of skates. Majapani will get this one down. Red Wings have this in their own end, and this will fall back to the Flames and Jonathan Huberdeau, as he'll try to play this off the backhand with Walker Dewar. So we'll dump this one in near the right side of the red line. Huberdeau will take a look, and this will quickly go the other way as the Red Wings will race for it, but it will be iced against them as Dennis Gilbert will get there with the hybrid ice. 1-0, the Red Wings have the early lead. 15:23 to go in the first. It's 4 shots to nothing in favor of the wing wheel right now. And again, Detroit is playing off the back-to-back. Jordan Osterley, couple seasons with Detroit, 97 games, 4 goals and 15 assists. He was kind of the 7th defenseman here. He's going to get more playing time, especially now with Rasmus Andersson not being available. He's going to get more of that now, mixed with Dennis Gilbert today. But he will see more time with the Flames. As this will be an opportunity for Kadri, but a backhanded pass gets intercepted. He'll pick it up, drive the net short side. Good save by Reimer. And they'll hold on. It was his first test, and he's passed that so far. A good look there by Kadri as he took that one in from the short side. And again, they're showing this on Bally Sports Detroit side of what I'm referring to for the Rasmus Andersson hit. Again, Laine had his head down going for the empty netter. But again, it's late. Laine has had a history of concussions, and that's just a situation that you find themselves in. So hopefully Laine is okay. Columbus is finding themselves over a game above 500. But we'll see if Rasmus Andersson is going to be able to play in the Heritage game alongside Connor McDavid, who sustained an injury the other night. Ben Sherratt, out for the face-off push, is able to find it as Larkin spin back, pick this up off the forehand, take a slight spill, and this will go to Mackenzie Weegar. Weegar's pass will bounce to Nikita Zadorov as he'll play a sure-handed stick before Lucas Raymond provides the effort. This will go back to Ben Sherratt now. Sherratt and across the blue line. Take a look with Sider as this bounces off the stick of Dan Vladar. And now toward the right side dot, Flames will look to go left to right off of a long flip. Near the right side red line is A.J. Greer. As he's being hounded with Igor Sharankovich, they're trying to get it out. Christian Fischer will pick it up for the Red Wings. Dump this in across the red line. 14:20 left to go in the first round. I'm here with you on the play-by-play. I got the local feed today with Bally Sports Detroit. That's all you get on this side when you're in the local area. Otherwise, it's ESPN+. There's a bad turnover for the Red Wings near the right side of the face-off dot, but the shot goes high and up and on a play. 14-11, a little bit of a bailout there for the Red Wings, but they will take it. Dan Vladar has stopped 3 out of 4 so far. James Reimer 2 out of 2. Again, I thought Markstrom might play, but they're going to give him the extra day of rest. As far as I think there was only 4 teams that didn't play on the Saturday side. Usually in the beginning of the year, it's loaded. Calgary was one of them to trade off the back-to-back after a pretty good victory over Ottawa in the Canadian Tire Center. Here's a long wrist shot. First one gets saved with the left pad. Second one goes wide. Majapani trying to get this one now as David Perron will spin and he'll get a cheeky little flip here to Tanev. He's having trouble trying to hold this one down, and this will bounce off a couple skates, get it to the neutral zone, and pinballed in. Goss Bear will take a look at it as he couldn't get around Blake Coleman. Joe Valeno trying to provide some support. And the right side of the face-off dot in the defensive end. There's Backlund, the newly minute captain for the Calgary Flames. His shot attempt goes up and out of play. We will go to commercial break. Alex DeBrincat with the one goal for the Red Wings so far. They lead at 1-0. I'm going to go ahead in this side for the notes. I'll put that goal typed in.
New players can download the DraftKings Casino app and get a deposit match of $100 in casino credit. Action's so good, watch on the
When we get to intermission, I'll also give you the NFL scores. And now, honestly, on the Hopeful Sports Guy side, again, I always give you the audio version of it too. I wasn't able to do that because yesterday with the Waterford Sharks and local assignment, I wanted to save the pipes a little bit for this game. But I'll tell you honestly, football picks this week, not very good. I don't think I got a single win on that side. I had 10 last week. What did I go? 10-4 last week. I might be going over this week, so as quickly as that turns around, I don't claim to be an expert on that. So if you took the upsets, you did a pretty good job this week from what I'm seeing so far, but we'll give you the finals once we get to the intermission of this game. It's a light hockey schedule. There's 2 games on the docket today. So let's just look at Dan Vladar's numbers, and we'll get that squared away. So Dan Vladar is 1-0-0, goals against at 3, and 889 save percentage. So Ryan Huska is going to let the Swede and Jacob Markstrom get a little bit of extra rest here, which is not a bad idea, but I thought he might play today against the Red Wings when pick up a point. At least a point. Appreciate you guys in the YouTube stream. I didn't imagine that it'd even be more than one at this point. It's a matinee day game of football. On the right side of the boards, after Calgary wins the faceoff dot, it's Mort Sider. Wrapped around the net now, JT Comfer. Again, he's one of the new additions. And you already have Andrew Kopp from last year. You got Dylan Larkin. You got 3 line mates that all played together at U of M on this squad. So pretty cool. There's a lot of Michigan connections here. Good active stick by Sider. We'll brush this into the neutral zone now. Now a big glove down by the German defenseman. Here's a long flip opportunity, but the Flames will find this back in their own end. The shots on goal remain 4-3 as Dewar will put this off of a long flip. Copper trying to spin around and locate this, but good stick look by the Flames will allow them to gain possession in the offensive end. Put this D-to-D and a fan on a slap shot. And Michael Rasmussen has it now. As the Red Wings gain the line, they're going to go for a long flip on Vladar. They'll brush this near the right side of the red line. Flames defense got to get out of their own way, and now they'll find some space with Noah Hannafin right across the wing wheel. Huberdeau will pick this up on the right side wall. Off the back pass, Nazem Kadri. Great strength to keep this alive. Huberdeau will put this in front of the blue plate. Now in the high slot, Jordan Osterley. Get this on the right side wall. As Trot was hounding him, Osterley's stick. He can't reach the puck. And now to Brinkett. Opportunity here with the Red Wings. Trying to loft this one into Brinkett. He'll center it out in front. A big dangerous chance for Rasmussen. But his stick got in the way. Mata will drop it to the right side down here for Larkin. Now Ghost will take a shot at it. And this one gets blockered aside as it's picked up by the Flames. They're going to try to go in a quick strike off the backhand, but it gets intercepted now for Gostisbehere. He tries to find Larkin, but it'll fall right back to Ghost. It's Ghost and Mana on the defensive line with their lone squad right now. With 11:45 left to go in the first. It's a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Alex DeBrincat and the Red Wings. Then Sherratt on the right side wall. Osterley able to get this one out, but it falls back to Mana. Here's a quick little shovel pass, but the Red Wings were offsides, and I think this is going to be iced anyway. Austin Zarnik was on that line, but they're going to watch this go all the way back into the Red Wings defensive end. So fans get a chance to watch the Red Wings for the next little bit. I think the next 3 games are at home, including today's game, which we're broadcasting. They're going to play Seattle in a couple nights. Pretty much every couple days the Red Wings will play. And when we talked about the opening in the first 13, Seattle was one of those ones you definitely circled because they were doing really good last year. They did have a huge win over Carolina with a 7-goal performance as this gets iced yet again against Detroit. But this might be a situation now early where the Wings can bank another win. They got to get it against Calgary here, but if they can do it against Seattle as well, that would be a great start. Tuesday at the 7:30 side. So that's pregame. About 7:45 puck drop on the Tuesday side. So every couple of days they'll be playing. But again, we talked about Boston a couple times, the Rangers in the mix of it as well. It's a brutal schedule to start the year. And right now the Red Wings are 4-1. As this is recollected off the slap shot fired in by the Wings. Mackenzie Weegar will spin this around for Nikita Zadorov. It'll take a hop, fall back to the Red Wings into the neutral zone. They'll skate back into D as Wallman's got it now. They'll have to back up. This is a tough play for Wallman. He turned it over in a really bad spot. It's going to give the Flames puck possession here. Here comes a slap shot. Good save by Reimer. And if Ruzicka would have got on the doorstep for the rebound, could have easily been a 1-1 game. Starting to get a little bit cleaner here for the Red Wings, hopefully. It's Valeno. Now from David Perron as they'll gain the red line. Now slapped in around the end boards now, and this is center dangerously through, but nobody was home. Sherrod able to pinball this thing back and around Vladar's net. He's in the butterfly. Intercepted by the wings near the right side faceoff dot. They'll go D to D. As it's Trot into the traffic. Scores! I don't think Vladar located it at all. And this might have been tipped. I'm not sure if that was Zarnik, but there was Sprong, Perrand. And this one gets through Vladar, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want that one back, but I don't know if he saw it. Maybe Valeno's third goal of the season. So Valeno able to get the puck entry from behind the net. This gets fluttered in. This hit a stick. This hit something for sure. Very slow-mo replay that we're getting. Yeah, that was definitely deflected, and that might have been Valeno's stick. So the slow motion, Sherratt lets it go. It goes off of the left leg of Valeno and in. So Joe Valeno is going to get credit for the goal, and the Red Wings take a 2-0 lead. So Valeno and DeBrincat, man, for Valeno, that's got to feel good because a couple of goals there from the Ottawa side, another one now. I thought about this, and I'll just be honest with you, at the Worlds with that stomp against Nino Niederreiter, I was feeling pretty uncomfortable as far as the signing. I know it was 1 year for Steve Eisman on that end, but someone that really had to prove themselves and kind of bounce back while Valeno's doing it now with 3 goals. And again, performance kind of supersedes everything else. Again, I understand it's not right on that end, but that is the way it goes sometimes. Dennis Gilbert have this now for Walker Dewar. The Flames got to get this on the front foot. Again, they've had the time off. The Red Wings are off the back-to-back here, and they're looking solid. As this is Jonathan Berggren. It's the first time that I do see him. So you're going to get some extra players off the back-to-back like this. And then let's play with a high stick. We'll go to break. Joe Valeno gives the Red Wings a 2-0 lead. 9:25 in the first. So I appreciate anyone listening in on the Twitter/X space and on the YouTube side. I wanted to throw this question out there as we're coming back from the commercial break. 4 votes. I said, are the Red Wings started to turn things around in your mind? All of those votes are yes, and I would imagine that they would be. So let's just see over these next few games. Again, I talked about the first 13, and for good reason. You still got Boston twice that are undefeated. You got the Rangers as well. Plenty of other games to go. I know Seattle's off to a slow start, but that was another one of those ones that you circled. You already beat Pittsburgh. You already beat Ottawa, a team that completely housed you over the 4 meetings. So good to see a start for the Red Wings and a solid attention to detail off this back-to-back so far. So back underneath the play now, Reimer will stop this puck as Gostisbehere will take a timeout. A lot of forwards essentially to get started here. The Flames are watching with Jonathan Huberdeau, but not necessarily pressing, just shadowing Reimer's grill here as this long pass able to get picked off by the Wings. And now Lucas Raymond gets stick lifted. As the Flames, they need to find something here in this period. Nazem Kadri will try to snipe one off the right side post, but this one goes up high. Sent down the ice, and this will be against the Red Wings again. It'll be the 3rd time that they've iced it in this period, but no matter. It's a 2-0 lead so far. Goals on that side I'm going to go ahead and just give that to you here. Alex DeBrincat, Justin Hull, and Lucas Raymond at 159. Joe Valeno with Ben Sherratt and Justin Hull. So Hull's got his first 2 points of the year at this point right now, so it's a good start for him. Dylan Larkin and Elias Lindholm in on the draw. As this will be picked up by Tanev. Tanev into the traffic. It's slow. Falls to Reimer. I thought he was going to hold it. Maybe he lost control of it. And now DeBrincat up the forecheck, but this will get into the neutral zone now as Tanev has this around the window. We'll wrap it around for Raymond. And now Mata able to intercept for the Red Wings. Stretch pass picked off in the neutral zone for Chris Tanev as he's got to absorb a body blow. And now Mata behind the cage is Adam Ruzicka. Giving shakes. Red Wings trying to get this out of their own end. First line's out there for Derek Malone squad and Dylan Larkin. He's one of the best at trying to play a 200-foot game. Already got a ton of points in the season. That's a great looking play off the glass. As Larkin able to go ahead and take a change. Everybody was near the bench. Matthew Coronado trying to go for a snipe as this goes back around JT Compher on the right side faceoff dot. Centered right out middle of the circles here, but Mata able to get there. Good play by Rasmussen. A 2-on-1 cross pass, and this goes off the outside of the net. Comp. Now for Siders. This will fall back into the neutral zone. Sider turns it over. Flames off to the races, and a glove save. Just a piece of it. It was Reimer as this goes down near the right side dot in the defensive end. Osterley has this in his own end as he'll settle it back down for Dylan Dubé. Dubé now. Back here for Jordan Osterley, the former Red Wing. Now in the middle of the wing wheel, the Flames have it as this will be flipped in by Ruzicka. Reimer will take a look at it, get back into his goal crease as the Wings calmly play this in behind their own net. It's Moritz Seider. There's a lofted pass. This might take a friendly hop, but this is picked off in the neutral zone. Flames have it. They're getting right down the middle of the slot now. Japani bumped off the puck. Reimer trying to locate it. It's near the right side of the red line now as the Flames starting to buzz here in late in this first period, about 6:45 left. Red Wings gaining entry. It's lofted for Valeno, and he was right there, and a penalty hand in the air, so the Red Wings going to the power play. They're already 9 for 18 on the season. That's 50%. And if they can get another one right now in this first period, I'm not going to essentially say bury the Flames because there's tons of time, but it would put them in a world of hurt as Ryan Huska. And again, I made that joke in the opening night with Cooper Hopkins that he looks like Pierre Maguire, but that really does look like a brother. So whether it's a Pierre Maguire lookalike or a Uncle Fester side of it for Adam's family, for Derek Lalonde, you got all of those. They're going to be Halloween costumes. And a slash was probably a good one there for Coleman. I think he probably stopped the sure goal for Joe Valeno. That would have been a breakaway against Vladar. Face-off win. Look for this quick plays here. Sider now. DeBrincat. There's a backhanded chance, and this goes near the left post and up and out of play. The Red Wings players had their hands up. I had to take a pause for a moment. So the power play at 9 for 18 on the season. It's 50% across the board between road and home splits. David Perron's out there with the Brinket. Larkin looks like Shane Gostisbehere as well. Again, Gostisbehere has been a godsend coming over from the Arizona side with those power play points. Definitely has a nose for the offensive side of the game. He's a good defender anyway, but a plus game on the offensive end for sure. Sider playing off the backhand. Red Wings gaining entry here as they're the left side of the faceoff dot. Perron drop this here for Sider. Fake the pass, give it back to him in the high slot. Play crisscross near the right side dot. Red Wings patient. Not shooting just yet. Working this in behind the cage to break it. This will take a bad hop. Not stay in. Sider will have to pick it back up now. 5:50 left to go in the first. Larkin will watch this one go in. Might be able to find this off behind the net, but Perron will get there a little late, and Reimer will stop the 200-foot clear with the shaft of the stick. Have to play this in behind the cage. Mangiapane was giving chase. And off the forecheck, even on the kill. As the Red Wings will work this in behind the net. Even if their power play percentage goes down, as you know, it's going to the 50% side. Take the win however you can get it. You know those numbers won't stay there forever. Daniel Sprong, as this is in the high slot. Wallman near the right side dot. He'll get it back. Wallman now near the right wing, right dot. Hold up slow and shoot. This will be a great setup. And Daniel Sprong launched a homing missile that just missing that Wallman into the traffic as it bounced off Comp. Rasmussen now Here for Andrew. JT Coffer, blind pass, and this goes in between Sprong's skate. He had two golden opportunities as Red Wings power play looking dangerous, although they haven't scored. Wallman, Sprong, cross pass, middle of the circles. Flames trying to get it out. It's kept in by Wallman with the glove. Sprong, near the right side dot, played it out the backhand. This gets shot wide, bounced up in the air. And the Flames get it out. The Red Wings looked extremely dangerous on that power play. They just didn't score. And Daniel Sprong had a couple of chances where it looked like he could have been playing some skeet shooting. He just couldn't find it. As Hall will get there, and a couple of cross checks against Justin Hall might draw a crowd. He's had a strong game so far. We'll go to break. 2-0 lead for the Wings.
Along with his sister Willem, they lost their dad Chris Snow at just 42, diagnosed with ALS in 2019, of which there is no cure. Became a prominent advocate for victims and to his wife Kelsey and the two kids. So proud of us.
So solo call today on that side, which I expected. So no Cooper Hopkins today. It's going to be a solo call, which I expected. It's going to be difficult for us to do on the California side for him. A 2 o'clock game, 5 o'clock for me on a Sunday. Unfortunately, the other way for the Red Wings, that's probably going to be the same way. Again, Calgary Flames, his favorite team. Red Wings, my favorite team. We broadcast and team up often. I just don't think we're going to be able to do that this year as far as this part of the two games. So let me get to the comments here. Tom Stone says, yeah, those Boston games are intense. I'm always happy to see the Red Wings playing more aggressively. And Cindy Stewart says, hello. And hello to everybody in here. I appreciate you guys following along. Again, Tom, I agree with you on that side. It's really impressive to me. We know about Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman and the goaltending tandem that Boston can provide. And I understand it's been a little bit of a soft serve schedule. Let me just go ahead and mention this for the Boston side. Again, no shade on that end because they're a really good squad. But let's just take a look at who they played because I don't think anything has been too taxing just yet. So Boston, they will be playing today. One of the only other game that's in progress. So they beat Chicago, Nashville, San Jose, and Los Angeles. And then they play Anaheim, Chicago, and Anaheim. So you're looking at a situation where Boston is 4-0, and they could easily be 7-0 going against the game to Detroit. And that shouldn't be a shock, even though they did lose Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. That's about as easy as it gets. On that side for Vegas, they're on the 6-0 end. They've had a very similar schedule. Again, you would expect maybe Vegas to lose one of those ones, especially Seattle in the opening from an emotional Stanley Cup banner drop and a back-to-back side of it. But Boston and Vegas have had easy schedules so far, but they've picked up the ones that you needed to have. Again, the points in October mean just as much as the ones in March and April do. So back underneath the action now, 4:10 left to go in this first. It's a 2-0 lead for the Red Wings. Shotboard, they also lead 8-7 as this is near the left side of the faceoff dot. Recollected by the Red Wings as they'll steal this in the high slot. It's Ben Sherrod into the traffic. It bounces off Wodar's glove. Andrew Kopp trying to locate this thing. He got knocked down. But the Flames, this is a lazy backhanded pass. They get the steal. Rasmussen now. He'll walk in and fire a 5-hole chance and gets closed off by Vladar. Kopp, as this played in between his skates, goes back to him. Good crisp passing by the Red Wings here as Hull has it. Put this back in around the cage now. Looks like a game of keep away. It's Kopp. Near the right side wing. He's got it in behind the cage. He'll center it out. Hull, he's pinching now, so one of the forwards has to go back in and protect. Try to get this one of the big body Michael Rasmussen. Throw it in for JT Coffer, so he's no stranger trying to hold into that point as it's given away. And Matthew Coronado has it now. Coronado will fire this down the left side of the red line, and James Reimer will go ahead and play this one. Again, thank you guys for joining in on the YouTube side. I didn't expect so many on this Matinee Day game, but again, it's a short NHL schedule today. You got Boston and Anaheim on NHL Network. This is only the local game. As this is turned over, Alex, the Brinket's got it. So all sorts of chaos in Calgary's defensive end right now. Detroit's causing some of it for sure, but this is a little bit self-inflicted for my liking as far as Calgary, as this is lofted near the left side and behind the net. Reimer will take a look at it. He's on the stand up near the right side of the post, and Dylan Dubé's got it now. Calgary really does need to get a goal here before the end of this first period to find something to feel good about because they didn't want to take this first period and flush it so far. And the high slot now, Wager off the deflection, and Reimer says no as he'll brush away with the pad. Number 71, the captaincy for the Red Wings, gets hauled down. And another power play opportunity for Detroit. Nazem Kadri doesn't like it. He will go to the box. And I don't want to take a shot at Nazem Kadri because when I do these games with Cooper Hopkins, I always tell you he's one of my favorite players. But on that side for Kadri this year, the numbers not very good. In the 5 games, or again, if I do my math, it is 5 games going into 6. He's got 1 point, 1 assist, and a -4. Now he's taking a penalty. I'm not going to say that he's playing like a buyout candidate like I'm seeing some of the people talk about on that end for Calgary, but I think he's got to get those numbers up. He's definitely too good of a player to be struggling as much. We knew he wasn't going to get the same point totals from Colorado to Calgary, but he's got to be more of a linchpin. As he's in the box, Red Wings have another power play opportunity. They were 0 for 1 in their last, so now they're below 50%. They score, they'll get back to 50 and go 10 for 20. Again, that's how lofty it's been. We know that's not going to last forever, though. About 2 minutes left to go in this first, about a 15-second difference in between the power play side of it. Again, my apologies for any Pekingese barking dog on that end. I normally do late streams, but this is a matinee day game. As an opportunity for Wallman now. Mata, Comfort, Wallman in the high slot. As they'll play crisscross for Lucas Raymond. Fire, big save by Vladar. And a chance loose for the painted Daniel Sprague's been all over. He could have a hat trick. Couldn't find it, though. Chance for Raymond. He'll walk in and shoot. Big opportunity as this bounces in between Sprong again. Again, nothing wrong with what Daniel's doing. He's been there, just doesn't get the puck on his stick. Backlund, big long slap shot. He might get an opportunity to pick it back up, and he'll just take his change on the kill. 1 minute left to go on the Detroit power play. Reimer hasn't had a ton to do, but he has made 9 saves. And Vladar has made 9, but the Red Wings have 2 goals. Sider, spin. As the Red Wings being very patient on the second power play, get all their personnel lined up. And now Alex DeBrincat. Take a long pass as this gets deflected and across the wing wheel. Sider will locate it. So Red Wings not making much happen on the second power play until they get this entry. Larkin bounced in off the skate. Perron can walk in here, the left side dot. We'll take a short side chance as it gets saved with the left pad of Vladar. Picked up now by Larkin. As this goes to Ghost. Back to Dylan now. And now for Perron. Perron. Sider. Gostisbehere. As this will be an opportunity off the window for Alex DeBrincat. Larkin will shovel this. Great setup ball. What a save by Vladar. As he keeps that one out. Now down to 18 seconds. Larkin. Here's a pass behind the net. Setup. Oh, Vladar again with a robbery. That could absolutely be 4-0, and Dan Vladar has kept his team in the game. And 2 power plays for the Red Wings, probably not getting a goal. But Dan Vladar, a big clap to you, sir. Keeps it a 2-0 game, and this stopped an opportunity as the first one was off the outside of the cage as Vladar was sliding over, but the second one was not. DeBrincat, that went off the glove hand of Wigger and off the outside. And the second one was a sliding attempt for Vladar as he made the save. So it came that close for the Red Wings to try to get one on the power play. They could have already had one on their first. Sharankovic was out there. Here's the second opportunity. Gostisbehere. This is trying to get lifted. This hits the stomach of Vladar and stays out. So Dan did a great job on the end of it. It's still a 2-0 lead for the Red Wings after 1. They come back. We'll call the second period.
Since 2016, he has been a member of the athletic staff covering the Red Wings since 2000.
So I'll go ahead and put these notes in, type this reset, and then we'll give you some football scores.
One of the things that is intriguing about this Red Wings season is that we know all about Larkin and DeBrincat in the top line that the Red Wings are currently enjoying. It's that second line that might be a difference maker for them. How so?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's 3 of their top defensive forwards, 3 of their go-to penalty killers, and they kind of put them together now here as a matchup line. It was funny, after the Columbus game, Derek Lawson, that line came to him and asked for the Sidney Crosby match for the next game against Pittsburgh. That really does a lot to free up your top line when you can have something like that. Tonight we're going to take on the Lindholm matchup, it looks like. That keeps a guy who's got, I think, 3 top 10 salary finishes in the last 5 years away from the scoring line.
And that gives them the depth that perhaps they didn't have last year.
Absolutely. You talk about that for the scoring of their young season, right? You look at the Strongs and the Bronze, but when you have a matchup line like that frees up those goal scorers, that really only magnifies that depth.
And it speaks to the depth of the Red Wings, and I think they can have that last.
So again, as I'm typing this in, just give you the quick little goal reset. So Alex DeBrincat at the 159 mark from Justin Hull and Lucas Raymond.
And also a reason why the power play's been so good. They're rested and ready to go when they have that opportunity.
And it helps with that line score too, right? Andrew Cobb's up.
And then Joe Valeno from Ben Sherratt.
Red Wing fans now are officially spoiled because they had 2 power play chances in the first period. And what? They didn't score a power play goal. They're now 9 for 20.
So as far as the game summary reset, again, Alex DeBrincat. We'll give you the game story reset here for the Twitter side as well. I'm going to put that back on. Alex DeBrincat gets a goal on the right side of the crease off a good setup. It was just right out in front off the back pass, as that was all set up there from Justin Hull. And then Joe Valeno at 9:44. 3 goals in 2 games, does excellent work and behind the net of Vladar, gets a stick lift off the chance from Trot at the point. Trot will shoot this, bounces off the left leg of Valeno and in as the Red Wings take a 2-0 lead. Curiously, again, this is early and this is half jokingly, the Red Wings are 0 for 2 on the power play, so they're 50%. Part of it's no more, but both of those were dangerous. Daniel Sprong had so many almost chances. This could already be a 4-0 game. Toward the last 15 seconds, Vladar made a couple of great saves. There was a block by Mackenzie Weegar. Vladar slide over to Rob Shangasa's spare of 1, and it's a 2-0 lead after 1. So we'll just give you the team stats, and then I'll give you the NFL scores. So 14-9. Shots on goal for Detroit. The hits are 5-3 for Calgary. And then 9-8 face-offs for Calgary. I think Calgary is in the top 5 of draws this year. They'd expect them to be if they're going to stay that way. Michael Backlund's really good at that. Nazem Kadri's really good at that as well. Dylan Larkin is the best face-off man on that end. And then we'll just do one more here. 7-2 block shots. For Calgary. So let's give you some NFL scores, and we'll take a look at the other comments. Again, I appreciate you guys following in. It's the first intermission. There's been a ton of activity here, a lot more than I even expected on a matinee day game. So thank you guys humbly. This is coming off of the assignment for the Waterfront Sharks. It was in the Go Live Sportscast yesterday, and I did post that there on the YouTube side. Again, it's really interesting when you have house league teams like you do in the Michigan Independence Hockey League, and you have one team in Gaylord Snow wear different jerseys with the wrong names on it. Luckily, I was able to correct myself in a few minutes. So let me give you the finals first and give you the complete conjecture here. Last week, I went 10-4 in my football picks. I wasn't able to do any audio stuff on that because of the hockey assignment I had to do locally at the Lakeland Ice Arena. So I didn't do the audio. Good thing I didn't do that because people will be making fun of me how bad I did. I think, honestly, right now, I'm going to go 0 for on these picks. It's not very good. So finals, Falcons improved to 4-3 as they get the win at Raymond James Stadium against the Bucks. 16-13 is your final. The Giants, they get the win over the Commanders, and they're real beat up. Again, this was an interesting game as far as the score line. Giants score 14 at the second quarter. That's all they needed. They beat the Commanders 14-7, 2-5 of the Giants, 3-4 of the Washington Commanders. The Patriots, they get a home win against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, that's ugly for them. I'm sorry for Bills fans. 29-25 as the Pats take the win. The Browns, again, I took the Browns, but the Colts were getting points. This was a shootout, 39-38. We'll take a look at the box and see what they show. So Deshaun Watson, he did go. After about 5 passes, he was out of there. 1 for 5 for 5 yards. P.J. Walker was the quarterback of record for Cleveland, 15 of 32, 178 yards. Gardner Minshew for Indianapolis, 15 of 23 with 2 TDs and 305 yards. Zach Moss, we'll see what he did today because he kind of gets involved in everything. So 57 yards and 5 yards on 1 reception, so not much there. Gardner Minshew, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. So he did it all today for Indianapolis, but they took the loss. They fall to 3-4. Cleveland is 4-2. That's a good bounce back game for them. And the Bears, they take a surprising win. I know the Raiders aren't very good. No Jimmy Garoppolo on that side, but no Justin Fields, as we'll give you a look at what the quarterback matchup was going to be. So it was Brian Hoyer who got the start, and then Aiden O'Connell finished it up. Brian Hoyer got sacked, 8 times and 7 times for Tyson Bagent, and Nathan Peterman got sacked several times, 5 times as well. So holy cow. A lot of pain train for these quarterbacks as Chicago wins 30-12. And I hope that nobody had to watch that game. Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell, Tyson Bagent, and Nathan Peterman were the quarterbacks on both of the sides. It's NFL football to some of you. Sometimes you'll take the poison pill in a game like that. And I'm going to go ahead and say this as plain as day. Again, you see the type of shirt that I'm wearing here. But Lamar Jackson picks up 4 touchdowns in the dominant win. I don't want to hear any more from those, especially on the Honolulu Blue side of it. Look, I've been honest about being from Detroit, but I've also been honest about with it for all of you as far as the streams. I am no football fan, even though I'll try to support some of the stuff because I got the shirt from like $20, regular $125, but I got it at Plato's Closet new for $25. Okay, so I picked it up because it's a nice looking shirt. All right. On that side, that's the true matter of the story. But the situation is this: I've seen so many Lions fans talk about how Lamar Jackson is a little bit overrated. And John Harbaugh is a good coach, but they never get it done. They don't get it done when it matters. They're 5-2. The Lions are 5-2 as well. Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback. I don't want to hear any slander on that side. And the Lions, here's what you do: you take your 38-6 butt whooping, and you move on to the next game and you look and recover, because when we're talking about it, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Lions schedule to refresh myself and to remind everybody else. We'll take a look at this full schedule side of it. So upcoming are the Raiders, the Chargers. Let me make sure I get this correct. Hold on 1 second. So it is, yes, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Bears, and the next 3 out of the 4. So you're looking at Baltimore, Raiders, Chargers, Bears. You already lost to Baltimore. You win at least one of these next 3, you're probably going to be a playoff team because you play in the NFC North. So there is no cause for panic, but there is cause for concern and things to clean up. So do not get full of yourself. You will get humbled. Yes, you do have a win against Kansas City in opening night, but you did lose to Seattle in overtime. You got walloped on that side, 37-31 in OT, as Geno Smith looks like a Super Bowl quarterback when he plays against your team. That's the way that it happens over the last few times that they've met. So you took a couple whoopings for Seattle and now Baltimore. Regroup and move on, because it's a Vegas team that you should beat. Probably lose to the Chargers and then beat Chicago and on that side, and you can look at a 5-2 and turn that into a 7-3. Sound good? I think that's probably the situation that they find themselves in. 7-3 and 6-4. They kind of right the track on that end. Those are just my thoughts, but everybody around Detroit needs to calm down a little bit as far as Super Bowl bound. Try to get in the playoffs and win a game first. It's been a while. So as far as anything else that is in progress, we can go ahead and do that in the intermission side as well. So let's take care of that. Flip back into this computer side of the Windows. My apologies. So we went through the finals. Let me give you the in progress. At the half, Chiefs and Arrowhead, they're up 24-17 against the Chargers. Broncos hold a 9-0 lead against the Packers. That is beyond ugly for the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota doesn't look to be in action this week. They are on the bye. So they'll be happy that the Lions have lost. And in progress, the Steelers have a 10-9 lead at SoFi against the Rams with 11:33 in the third. And one more for you, the Seahawks. Cooper Hopkins will be happy with that. They hold the lead at home against the Cards 14-10, but I did see the spread was 9.5 for me for the Cards, so I took the points. Maybe try to get one win this week. We'll see how that goes. As far as the NHL schedule, there's a reason why we didn't get into it much. There's only one other game. This one's going to be on NHL Network. Again, if it's local side for you, you'll be able to catch it on the Bally Sports Ducks feed or Nesson. God help you with Jack Edwards. But Boston trying to go 5-0. We went over their schedule. It's very matter of fact that they'll probably be 7-0 by the time they meet the Red Wings in another week. Anaheim 1-3, have just 2 points on the year. But they've been much improved as far as their compete level. They're not quite the level of the Arizona Coyotes yet as far as the talent, but Leo Carlson does look really good. So that is your intermission reset, and when we get back into it, we'll get into the second period. So again, I appreciate you guys on the YouTube side and on the Twitter space. Are the Red Wings starting to turn around in your mind? Somebody had to throw out there no and spoil the party. I imagine it wasn't going to be undefeated forever on the yes side. I don't know if that's sour grapes or an actual no. Even for me, who's a diehard wing wheel, I'm going to say yes because, again, I think it's year 5 for Eisman. Some people kind of mark that as you should be doing more, but they don't remember what was inherited on that side. It wasn't very great. When you're talking about the contracts of Jimmy Howard, Jonathan Erickson, Franz Nielsen, Justin Abelkader, not very good on that. You got to turn all that around, finally get into salary cap help. It was just the previous year that the Red Wings could start making moves under Steve Yzerman because it was that bad. Then we got one more commercial break upcoming, and then we will go to the second period. It's a 2-0 lead for the Red Wings over the Flames. Once this game is done, we'll have complete coverage. HopelessSportsGuide.wordpress.com alongside the audio recorder. This just has all the play-by-play stuff, none of the other thrills that we're getting during the commercials. And then I will also get all the football stuff typed up as I usually do. And that should leave me just enough time to catch Game 6 of the ALCS, as it'll be Texas and Houston. They will go back to the Space City, where Houston has won 3 straight games in that series. I am very intrigued if Jose Altuve will hit more bombs and try to take that team to the World Series. That's what I'll be watching in the nightcap. So one more commercial break.
All rights to this broadcast are original. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmissions, telecommunications to the public, or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Detroit Red Wings is prohibited.
Red Wings, Tuesday at 7:30 on Bally Sports and the Bally Sports app. You're watching Red Wings hockey.
I'm going to save, because we're going to go to the second period, I'll save this for the official part of the recording. But I do have something on my mind as far as the broadcasting for the Red Wings. Again, Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond are the best in the business, and you'll get no slander from me on that side. Mickey's funny, and I always love hearing all the other stuff. But we do have to talk about when we get into the second period. I'll save this for the open here because I think we're going to be about a minute away about the Red Wings broadcast and share some well wishes. So I saw in the opener that when we covered that one, Robbie Fabry got injured against the New Jersey Devils. They said it was going to be a couple games and a minor thing, and now I think they're going to reevaluate Robbie the second week of November, it seems like. I don't know that for sure, but that is what I saw on that side. When we get into the second period as well, I'll go ahead and second intermission rather. Go ahead and give you the injury report around the league. I'll let you know if there's anything because they're talking about Connor McDavid. I know we mentioned with Rasmus Anderson's suspension as we meet in the second period, but Connor McDavid got injured in the game last night. They don't know if he's going to be able to play in the Heritage Classic next week against Calgary. And Rasmus Anderson, if the suspension and everything else is upheld as it's going to be, he's not going to be available. So there's going to be plenty of missing ammunition for both teams heading into that Heritage Classic going on the weekend side when that should be a big celebration. So here's a stat for you, courtesy of the Bally Sports Detroit side. Alex DeBrincat, second Detroit skater with 6 goals in 6 games with the team since Ed Litzenberger from 1961 to 62. Again, I was born in 87, so a little bit before the time on that side, but still, that is a hell of a stat. So as we get back into the broadcast now, officially in the second period, John Henry with you on the call, a solo call for me today. Cooper Hopkins couldn't be here, but nonetheless, we will carry on. I do want to send my well wishes to the radio side of the crew over Ken Cal and Paul Woods. Ken Cal did do the broadcast on the radio side for Detroit, but he had to go into a little bit of a procedure. Had a lot of pain in doing the broadcast yesterday. So he'll be missed for a while on the radio side, and hopefully we'll get a chance to hear back from him soon. I will throw Alec in here just in case he wants to broadcast or if he's kind of hanging around or just listening in. It's a 2-0 lead for the Red Wings on that side against the Calgary Flames. We're going to get set to go here in this second period. This YouTube spot's been definitely hopping. Chance out in front, and Backlund missed the net as David Perron. We'll try to locate this now. And the Red Wings will try to go left to right in this second period. Second period, especially on that second power play, was all Red Wings, and they just missed a pair of goals. This is blown dead.
Hey, I didn't expect myself to join here for this second period, well, especially with what's going on tonight between the Astros and Rangers. Everything on the line for the Rangers, but so far the Red Wings looking good here in this second period, especially the power play. I'm noticing the goal horn looks different here.
They did a redesign, and they took the goal horn sign, and they took it from the Joe, and they brought it to LCA, so that makes me very happy, my friend.
Oh, that is refreshing to hear. About that old goal horn, and they took it in. Amazing stuff.
Yes, it is, as it's picked up across the red line now. So I do have Alec Nava with me here in the interim. I can't imagine he's going to stay the whole way through because I know he's going to be busy on the nightcap for the baseball side. Congratulations on the job opportunity and everything else, my friend, because you definitely deserve it. Noah Hannafin now, as this will be picked up by Backlund, and Backlund will try to rush this one, as the Flames will enter off of a 4-on-2, but this is a poor pass, and it's going to allow J.T. Coffer to be able to gain some time as this is wrapped right in. Calgary now with Noah Hannafin, Mangiapane up the back pass, played near the right side of the window, as Backlund will try to find it, and this will fall to Justin Hall. So we're waiting for him to get on the score sheet. He's already got a couple assists in this game. Andrew Kopp. There's Sauce in the middle, and this is sticked away by Noah Hannafin as this is centered dangerously near the right side of the faceoff dot and wrapped in around the net. Dylan Larkin, oh, great setup, and DeBrincat missed the net. As this goes now between the left side dot. Worked in behind the cage again. Katz had a lot of chances, and so has Sprong, but he's already got one, does DeBrincat. Hall will send this one D-to-D. Picked up now by Raymond. This will go back to the D side on the left. There is a deflection opportunity. Larkin will find it. It's been all Red Wings now over the last minute. Near the right side wall, trying to keep this alive. Hannafin got to be tired out there. Some winded bodies as Dylan Dubé will recollect this, try to get this off the window, but it's not cleared out. DeBrincat now has the entry. Cross pass. Stars! DeBrincat and Larkin It's 3-0.
And here we go. This connection still continuing to pop up strong here. And even though Alex DeBrincat will love to have that goal earlier, he missed it from the high slot. He found Dylan Larkin open, all open as day with no hand of it. He was diving for perhaps a low shot. Larkin took note of this and switched up his shot to go high shelf, right up for the elevator. Nice goal, nice speed.
That is a very nice goal out. Like there was not a lot of room to go high shelf, but Larkin knew exactly what he was doing. Quite frankly, I know this is in the midst of the Brinket having 3 more years after this, but I'm feeling spoiled, my friend. This Larkin to Brinket connection has been hot. There's really nothing you can say.
Very hot. I mean, torrid hot. What else is there to say about this connection? If this is the duo that will lead Detroit to the playoffs for the first time since the 25-year streak.
Yeah, I mean, he's giving me, I don't want to say this disingenuously, but Marian Hossa vibes. Because that's just a pure goal scorer at that point. That's what DeBrincat looks like. And Larkin's always needed a setup guy. We know how good he can be. So 3-0 is the scoreline. Larkin and DeBrincat combined yet again. And now it's 17-10 left to go in the second. 3 goals on 15 shots, nothing yet for the Flames as this gets iced. James Reimer hasn't had a lot to do yet, but he's getting the start off the back-to-back because Ville Husso, my goodness, was he good against Ottawa yesterday.
And between that game and this game, as we look right back at this replay from Bally Sports Detroit, that was pretty much a similar looking goal from the one between Daniel Sprong and Joe Valeto. Very similar looking indeed, but amazing connection.
Goss to spare through the traffic, and it would have been an opportunity for Austin Zarnik, and now the Flames will try to push the other way. Calgary's absolutely has to get the next goal. They're in that territory right now, and I'm willing to say it. Christian Fischer, is this a cross pass, but this will go a little bit too far for Jonathan Berggren, so a little bit different lineup off the back-to-back as you would expect, trying to keep all the troops fresh. And again, Steve Eisman over the last couple of years, he's done his best to try to address the lack of depth issue and bring that in the forefront when you get guys like Sprong and Hall and all the extras like Petrie, bringing everybody else in. They carry 7 defensemen for a reason. Got a couple extra forwards as well. Kadri, as this is played near the right side, Dot Hannafin into the traffic. That one goes wide as the Flames will pick this up, trying to center it out in front of the net. And now they'll have it near the right side. Dot able to stay on the feet of the Flames to get this in the high slot. Hannafin off the crisscross. Has it. They'll shoot it. Reimer sees it all the way. They'll hold on.
I know Hannafin was looking for a deflection in front, and he was having that idea right in mind when he shot that off. Didn't miss by much, though. As we go over to Calgary's side, now I know you said they need to score the next goal, and that is a must because Rasmus Anderson, they won't have him for this game and the next 3. He got suspended because of a very blatant charging hit on Patrick Laine in the Columbus win over Calgary 3-1.
I want to say this openly, Alec, because you're with me here on the broadcast, but that seemed completely unnecessary considering the game was over, correct?
It was very unnecessary. Plus, Anderson left his feet, which made the hit even worse.
Yeah, and again, that's going to put a situation from what I talked about in the open. Like I said, Connor McDavid got injured the other night, but you have the Heritage Classic coming up from the outdoor game, and you might not have McDavid or Rasmus Anderson, and both teams are not playing as well as we expected in between Calgary and Edmonton.
These 2 teams, they need to get going fast because what Edmonton can do at their best, that was evidenced by their big win over the Nashville Predators. But that loss to the Winnipeg Jets felt like a crusher. Not only with losing McDavid, but with the Jets coming back from down 2-0 to win in OT.
Yes.
And Connor Hellebuck still being Connor Hellebuck.
Nazem Kadri's got it now in the high slot. Here's a nasty-looking wrister. Reimer is down on all fours, and the puck, I think, is underneath him. Hopefully he's okay.
He's doing the little snow angel and little friendly fire from Justin Hall, and Reimer knew that puck was coming underneath him, or possibly a light shove from his own man in Hall. But by the time it got to Reimer, he held on to it and kept it away from Calgary. And Calgary, they need to start firing on all cylinders because they have the right ideas. They just need to start executing.
Yes, they do. And I think for Reimer, at least I kind of hold my breath there for a minute that he didn't get his leg pinned against the post, but he looks no worse for wear, as this is a defensive face-off win. Again, I've talked about this with Alec. I mentioned it with Cooper all the way across the board on this side. Red Wings need backup goaltending that can be relied on. They're carrying three goaltenders right now with Alex Lyon. Has not got a start yet. This would be Reimer's second, as this is recollected by the Flames in their own end, and Igor Sharankovich, the pickup from the New Jersey Devils from the Toffoli trade, as hopefully he will get more time going forward and move up this line. That's what Calgary wants. I'm not going to say rebuild, but this team could definitely look different in a couple of years. But they might also need to extend Noah Hannafin, who was due. This gets turned over. There's a big bomb by Gostisbehere. This one goes off the outside of the cage and now near the right side of the red line, as Backlund has it now off the forehand. Will gain the entry and across the wing wheel. Calgary just trying to find some sustained zone time. Might come from a Red Wings turnover in behind the cage, but here's a chance now for Daniel Sprong. He'll work his way in off the forehand and a nice centering feed per Perron, but a little bit too far. Not kept in at the blue line side. A good stick check. Might allow the Red Wings to get back in time, but the Flames content to just dump this thing in. Joe Veleno, he's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. He's got 1 today. Moritz Seider, now for a stretch, goes off the window, and the Red Wings will take a change with Derek Lalonde's squad, and Christopher Tanev now has it in behind the net. 15 shots to 10. The Red Wings hold a 3-0 lead, and I'm getting a little concerned how good the Red Wings are playing so far early in the season, but we know the schedule is going to be brutal in the first 13 games as we outlined. You got to continue to compile the wins as you can, as this is a backhand opportunity. Would have Ruzicka right in the slot, but this will be intercepted. Matthew Coronado will get this one as it gets fired in across the red line. Reimer will take a look at it. Elias Lindholm got a couple goals and 4 assists. He's the points leader right now, but he gets stick lifted. And now the Red Wings will take their time. Seider with a 100-foot pass. This bounces off of one of the Flames. Try to gain the entry, but a good long stick there for Seider. Will gain the interception as Berggren will get back to his feet. Seider will try it again and across the red line as it finds Dan Vladar. I'll leave it for big Nikita Zadorov, number 16. We'll get this one for Nazem Kadri. Good power move off the backhand as Kadri tries to make something happen. This will fall across the blue as they'll crisscross for the Flames and play it in off the left side of the glass. Dylan Larkin with the interception now. Raymond will get this one back. Number 71 goes for a left-sided post. It falls back to Hall. And now Larkin fans on it. Huberdeau will recollect. He'll play a blind back pass, but Alex DeBrincat is there. Takes a small shove as this one gets flipped in for Vladar. Vladar now, Dennis Gilbert, as the Flames will look to go right to left in the road whites, the Red Wings in the all red at home. Again, that's been several years since it's stayed that way. Now Tanev will keep this alive as Flames trying to pinch in behind the cage with A.J. Greer, the 4th line for Ryan Huska's squad, but now on the left side of the red as this is flipped down. Not iced, as this will be recollected for Noah Hannafin. 12:05 left to go in the second as Alec Nava is with me here on this Twitter Space/X. We got the YouTube side pumping. It's a 3-0 lead for the Red Wings. Comper trying to locate this as Rasmussen will spin it around for Andrew Kopp. Kopp now near the right side of the red line. Here's a slap shot. Intentionally wide. Rasmussen can't locate it, but this is still in behind the net. Kopp trying to make a combination play. This goes in between his legs. Now Comfort for Mata. Now back to JT. He'll play this off the backhand. He tried to stuff it in short side. And now here's a chance in tight. I think Vladar got a piece of it, but it's still with Kopp. And now off the backhand, Flames will finally get this out as this gets in between the neutral zone. Couple active stick checks and a good back pass. But Mata's got to get on his horse. He'll just tap this one with the stick. He'll pick it back up. There was some forechecking Flames there, but they couldn't locate the biscuit. And now they'll get it near the right side boards. Nikita Zadorov will make the extra pass. Walking in and not shooting are the Flames as they'll work this in behind the cage. It bounces off Michael Rasmussen. And now Zadorov trying to keep it alive. Here's a bomb. A good save by Reimer with the left pad as this goes under the left side of the red line. Zadorov has it now. We've got a big stretch of unbroken action here. As Zadorov now all the way in his own end from the offensive side. He'll look to start again. Takes a bounce off the Red Wings skate of Shane Gostisbehere. Try to get centered out in front by Backlund. but he's working with us now near the left side boards. Mangiapane brings it around the window, and this will work as a self-clear on Calgary. That'll help Detroit. Dennis Gilbert now. Usually mixed out there with Jordan Osterley on the third line side. Again, you're going to have more depth without Rasmus Anderson for several games, as Alec had mentioned. Now into the red line. Gain the entry for the Flames. Nice backhanded move near the left side post. Here's the slap shot, and this one goes up and on a play. Thankfully, we all get a break as we go to commercial.
So, with everything that's going on in the baseball side, I want to mention about the Texas Rangers, how this is a must-win for them right now. They're facing elimination now, having lost 3 straight after winning their first 7 postseason games. But thankfully for them, this pitching matchup could be one that's going towards their favor. Nathan Eovaldi and Framber Valdez. And they ran Valdez after 3 innings out in Game 2. And Eovaldi has been looking sharp this postseason, so maybe we could be seeing a Game 7.
If we do, my friend, that'll be the one that I join you in. Sorry, I'm just getting a snack.
Oh, man. Well, we're both having snacks right now, but hey, this Game 7 should be fun if we get one.
I think so. It's going to be on Eovaldi, as you said, and I think he'll get it done.
I'm having that feeling, too, about Eovaldi getting the job done, because his 2 previous starts, he looked sharp, or 3 previous starts, I should say, he has looked sharp. Game 2 against Tampa, Game 3 against Baltimore, and Game 2 against Houston. He's been looking sharp no matter who he faces. It's like he was picked 9th overall by Miami previously, and he's now living up to that potential that he has been tasked with Miami. So possibly he's kind of a late bloomer, like he has been last year with the Dodgers, this year with the Rangers.
Yeah, I think that's well said by you. And on the side of it, I know you're doing the broadcast and you sending the messages back and forth. I wish I could have responded earlier, but I wasn't on the local assignment for the Sharks, because you're right. Everything that we just saw in that Game 5 was that's stuff legends are made of. And on that side of it at the end, when you see some of those walks and opportunities when it was a little bit self-inflicted there from Jose Leclerc, I think we all had the feeling when Jose Altuve is going to step up to the dish, that game is going to be over.
Yeah, because Altuve, he has been as clutch as he can get. The longest tenured Astro, he knows this team, whether between AJ Hinch or Dusty Baker, he knows them so well. Gets the job done once again with that 3-run home run. Still showing that he's one of the most clutch hitters in the league today. And much of the talk of that game was that bench clearing incident in the 8th inning.
Yeah, you could see that there was an intentional, maybe intentional, unintentional thing from Brian Abreu, but that certainly seemed like he wanted a piece of Adolis Garcia. We'll see if we get the fireworks in Game 6. I know you're going to have that and have a lot of fun with it. I'm having fun with this score line right now, to be honest with you. This is a little refreshing to see this, as it's Raymond now off the slow up. And the Hull will fire it up the net. Dan Vladar makes the save, and the Red Wings will pick this up. And near the right side dot, here comes the bomb, and another save by Vladar. It's been unrelenting pressure at times for the Red Wings. I know it says just 18 shots, but the zone possession time has just been exorbitant for the Red Wings so far. And they played well early in the year. I know, again, on the Tuesday side, they'll have a matchup against the Seattle Kraken. And when we end up circling that one, again, you think about how good Seattle was last season. They're not off to a great start. If the Red Wings get a chance to catch them off guard, that's another chance to pick up 2 points against a team that you would expect to turn things around. Good collision near the right side of the board. So hopefully the Wings are okay on that side. I think it was Fisher who fell down. Now walking in, Sharangovich with one of the best opportunities for the Flames in this game. He gets robbed by Reimer as the Flames now try to work this around. Mackenzie Weegar's pass will go all the way back, and this will be a flipping puck that gets recollected by Adam Ruzicka. Or this is Weegar, and now Gilbert. Oh my goodness, it was almost a late arriving Red Wing that would have picked the pocket. There'll be an opportunity now for Ruzicka as they'll fly in, and a good backhanded stick check for the Red Wings. Gets it out of their own end clean. Pick this up near the right side dot. Here's an opportunity as Gostisbehere is pinched in tight now for David Perron. Try to get this one back to Ghost, but he wasn't in that same spot as the Flames. We'll get this one. Logan Gilbert will have it now and recollect. On that side, again, I think it's Dennis Gilbert. Logan Gilbert's the pitcher from Seattle. My goodness. as this is picked up here for David Perron and now Majapani. Majapani trying to locate this thing. Centered out in front, the Backlund opportunity. He's trying to find it, scores! The captaincy helps get it done there, and the Flames get a badly needed answer.
I thought the Igor Sharangovich opportunity was the best one for Calgary thus far, but this one was the one they needed. Started with Michael Badcoy with that initial shot. But guess who's part right there? As Cooper Hopkins would say, as the bread man, Andrew Mangiapane banking in the rebound opportunity. Parked right there on the doorstep, and he cleans up the trash. It's now a 2-goal game.
Yeah, he needed that battle. As we said, Backlund able to make that happen. As you said, Majapani right on the doorstep. He gets the job done. The Flames can get back into this game. They can get another goal here within 7:48. He can make things interesting. Again, that active Saturday they talked about, Flames are one of the only other 3 teams besides them that didn't play on that side. So they should have the fresher legs with the wins off the back-to-back after Detroit got the win of the Canadian Tire Center against Ottawa. Man, that was a nasty game. Brady Tkachuk in there too, trying to draw some fights. And I think every time Alex DeBrincat was near the puck yesterday, he got booed.
I mean, DeBrincat took that game personal.
So we're going to go to commercial break here. Andrew Mangiapane makes it a 2-goal game.
So a 2-goal game here is now we discuss some more. As they know, all the marbles are on the line here. We don't know the pitching matchup for the possible Game 7. Should that happen, do I imagine Greasy and Javier could get the start for Houston if that were to go to the full distance between Houston and Texas, as I would see that possibly happening. But for now, Game 6 could be even more dramatic after that bench clearing altercation. I know Abreu got 2 games. And 5 from that altercation were Matt Bush, one of the relievers from Texas, Lance McCullers, who was injured for the Astros, and Adolis Garcia, the guy who he shoved Martin Maldonado in the middle of all of that. If you want a piece of Maldonado, that hit by pitch seemed to aggravate him, and Dusty Baker got tossed from the game. And let me be honest, Dusty Baker might have had a point in that, because he tried to argue that there was no intent from Brian Abreu. But maybe there may be something that could have countered, because Abreu has hit other batters by a pitch before. And Baker, as livid as he is, he ejected watching the rest of this game from the hallway to the locker room, and he celebrates with his team at the end of it.
Yes, he did. And I agree with you. Even though I think we're both of the same mind that Abreu knew what he was doing, I think Dusty Baker did a great job of arguing that point, because who in their right mind would put more people on base to give an opportunity for Texas to be able to do something? So I get that. And at least for Dusty Baker, you know what? I was happy. He didn't go quietly. He didn't even want to leave when they tried to eject him.
I mean, I don't blame him either, because this is what managers should do. They should stay right by in support of their team, rooting for them from perhaps the edge of the hallway to the locker room, to root for them the rest of the way.
Yeah, it makes me interested. I know you joined in there late because you had class with the voiceless and stuff on Wednesday, but when I heard all the commentary swirling around Houston and Dusty Baker and one, I couldn't believe everybody saying they're wanting him out. Like, that's the kind of stuff you need him to fight for in that game. So we'll get back into the second period of this. We're about to finish up the second intermission. We'll see if anything gets any more interesting. Andrew Mangiapane has kind of made this a game now, as that was a good effort from Backlund. Mangiapane was on the doorstep. Now Nikita Zadorov will get this one here as the Flames will get this across the red line. Red Wings will recollect with Michael Rasmussen, throw this back to deep, and look to get started one more time. An opportunity for Mackenzie Weegar, as it's Adam Ruzicka trying to go right to left. Here's a stretch pass, and it'll be flipped in across the red line as the Red Wings will find it. 19 shots to 15 on the shot board. The Red Wings hold a 3-1 lead. Igor Sharangovich now, and behind his own cage, and Dan Vladar, he's getting the spot start. I thought it'd be Jacob Markstrom today because the Flames had the extra day off, but they're going to elect in Ryan Huska's squad to give the big sweet goaltender another extra day on that side. I'll be ready for the next game. As this is inside the blue line and flipped in, it'll be an opportunity for Dylan Dubé again, if the Flames get another goal here, they can completely turn things around. The Red Wings trying to make sure they keep it at least at 2. Opportunity for Lucas Raymond racing down the right wing. Finds Larkin. Cross pass! And what a goal again! They cannot be stopped.
Oh, this Red Wings team truly is special. This is the second time that we've seen this. That cross-ice pass, and guess who it is? Larkin to the brink hit.
My goodness.
They reversed that in the previous goal. Now it's Larkin to the brink hit this time around. These two have been so special on this top line. And the sweet one-time feed to the hometown boy, Alex DeBrincat. And these two hometown boys doing it all.
I want to say this during the broadcast. I know I said it during the free agency, friends. It'll be the first time I say it all year. Thank you, Alex DeBrincat, and thank you, Steve Yzerman, because you get it at a discount here. I think DeBrincat could have got more than about that 7.6 that he had. He wanted to come home. He's from Farmington Hills. I never expected this type of explosion this early in the year. I know it's early. He's got 7 goals already.
Wow, 7 goals. I am so amazed by what is going on with this kid.
Again, he's only 25 on this side, so it's a long way to go for his career. Mangiapane, long wrister, and James Reimer's got to be happy to get this offensive support. I mean, he played a big game a few days ago against Columbus in the shutout. He had a great first period. But right now, it just looks like a shooting gallery against Stan Vladar. I feel a little bit bad for him on that side, but that's just a perfect cross pass. Now Weegar, and behind his own cage, is back to a 3-goal lead again. And the Flames trying to make something happen in their own end. But here's Christian Fischer providing some support, making life difficult. Bouncing puck forces the turnover. And now Austin Zarnik trying to get in on his horse. Again, the depth for this Red Wings team over the last couple of years continues to be added to. And everybody's just kind of fitting the job description and doing what they need to do. And that's what makes good hockey teams right now. And I can actually say the Red Wings look like a good hockey team. And I don't have to lie to anybody when I say that, as this is picked up near the players' bench, and now the Flames will relocate it. 4:55 left to go in the second. It's A.J. Greer, who was picked up in the Boston Bruins on waivers. Greer now will get this one across as the Flames will look to get started with Elias Lindholm, but plays blown dead at 4:47 as we go to break.
I am loving what I'm seeing from the Red Wings so far to start out the year. And I know the season may be young, but thus far, if the Red Wings keep this up and they stay close to that wild card spot and get at in the end of it, we could be seeing late April hockey.
Again, Alec, I want to say I agree with you, and I'm on board. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I want to just make this mention again. The most daunting part of the schedule. Alex with me, so we'll go through this here on this side before he has to get the heck out of here, because I know he's going to have an assignment and everything else to do soon, because the baseball game is huge. But during the 13-game side of it, you got Seattle Tuesday, Winnipeg, Boston, Islanders, Florida, Boston, Rangers, all upcoming. That's going to test the Red Wings' mettle. That's part of the 13-game schedule that we talked about. And if they can find a way, again, we mentioned in the first 13 games, could they go 7-6 and get above 500? Well, in this situation, if they start 5-1, I think we might expect more than a 7-6, but that's still a gauntlet of games to go.
It's a long way to go indeed, but it's certainly doable for Detroit based on how well they've been playing.
I want to go ahead, and I did mention this before you weren't in here, but let me go ahead with the Boston Bruins. I'll wrap this to you again. I know they're 4-0, but let me just reiterate this. So this is who they've beaten and who they're going to play. They beat Chicago, Nashville, San Jose, and Los Angeles. The LA win's probably a good one. But upcoming, they have Anaheim, Chicago, Anaheim before they play Detroit. That's 7-0, don't you think so?
That appears to be 7-0 based on the opponents that they're going up against. We don't know who the Bruins truly are because of the teams they faced.
Right.
So when they get to a quality opponent, we'll know who they truly are. Because I know they've been good offensively, but that schedule doesn't look as impressive as it looks at first glance. However, a win is a win is a win is a win.
Yes.
But how much winning against bad teams are you going to take until you find out who you truly are when you face your first good team. And that is Detroit on the 28th.
Yeah, I think that's going to schedule to be a big game. And for Detroit and Boston, they're going to get all 4 of their meetings before the end of this calendar year. Again, rivals meet 4 times, and the Red Wings will finish it all up in 2023. There'll be an opportunity now for Sider, as they'll try to locate it with Adam Ruzicka. And now near the left side of the red line, Flames still trying to keep this thing alive. Nice little touch pass here for Noah Hannafin as this will work D to D. Hannafin now into the traffic as it's picked up by Raymond and played in off the window. An opportunity for the wing wheel to get this one back down as Dan Bladar will take a look at it. Got about 4 minutes left to go here in the second period. It's a 4-1 lead now. Again, it was as much as 3-0, and now back to a 3-goal lead again as Justin Hall. He's got this thing. It's kind of been a Sunday stroll here in this Sunday matinee day game, but I am not minding it at all as this gets tipped off sides.
With how Detroit's playing, and even though they've been going lights out here throughout this start or to get things off, so far, so good. Even though that last play offside, they can still manage to hold this. My only question is if goaltending will hold, because that's been the biggest question for them.
Yes, it has, and that's why you get the additions of James Reimer. Alex Lyon is yet to play. I'm going to go ahead, unless anything breaks immediate in action, I'm going to ask a couple of these questions have been asked so we can throw this out to you there, Alec. But he said, how do you think the Red Wings' depth is? Look, I understand Robbie Fabry got hurt in the first game against the Devils, but when you add Fisher, you add Sprong, you have some of the back-end stuff in Hull and Petrie, I think the depth looks pretty good, a lot better this year, don't you think?
Yeah, a lot better compared to the last few years because the additions, so far, they've been paying off.
And then the one other one here is Kadri's trying to play this one out of the air. They ask, what do you think the best team in the NHL is right now? I had my mind. I think it's an easy one, but I'll throw it to you because there's 2 teams you could pick from in my eyes.
Vegas, I assume?
Vegas is my number 1 because they're undefeated and they're the back-to-back champions, but I'm going to take Colorado number 2.
Interesting option. Colorado looks like a good one. They're still there. Every year, they're still going to be there.
Yeah, their offense has looked really good, and it really seems early. It shouldn't be a surprise with Colorado, but I get the feeling, Alec, yeah, we didn't get the cup last year, but we want it now, and we're going to take it.
No matter what it takes. And that's why you go out and get the free agent additions. Ryan Johansson, even though he came back by way of trade. Ross Colton by trade. Miles Ford, free agency. Tomas Tatar. It took until very long to get him to a contract, but coming over via free agency. Good pickups. Then you go and extend Devon Taves. Good signing there to keep your guy up to he's 37.
I agree with you on that side. Again, that defensive core is an embarrassment of riches. And look, I know what Alec has said about New Jersey, and I don't disagree with him. He had him as a Stanley Cup Finals winner over the Dallas Stars. I'm just pumping the brakes a little bit. I still got them in the top 5. They're dealing with some injuries and stuff right now. But Jack Hughes, I'll say this because this was mentioned on the Spit and Chicklets podcast with Paul Bissonnette. Thinking that Jack Hughes might get 130 points, and I don't even think that sounds outlandish for as good as he is. I really don't.
I mean, of how he's been doing, perhaps one of the first ever Devil to eclipse 100 points, if I noticed stats correctly. We don't know who has eclipsed 100 points in Devils history, but I'm going to check that out.
We'll have to do that. If you can check that out, that'd be cool. Let us know because they've had a lot of good teams on that side. Long shot from Sharon Kovic was saved by Reimer as we got 2:05 left to go in the second. So scoring 3+ goals courtesy of Bally Sports Detroit. Longest opening streaks, 6 in 23-24. That's only 5 off from 83-84 and 11 and 97-98. That was a good year on that side. 13 straight for the Red Wings as they were going for back-to-back cups and got. So Comfort does win the draw, the defensive end, and leave this here for Ben Sherratt. Again, I'm just waiting to see playoff action on that side for the Red Wings. It's certainly been a while. That's what I'm hungry for. I want to call some playoff games if they can get to it. Comfort as this splits the middle. But again, as Alex said, we made mention of this. Wins in October mean just as much as they do in March. Bank your points now. because when the other injuries start to take shape, that can start to affect teams, especially if you don't have depth. Luckily, the Red Wings have some of that this year. But again, the power play hitting at 50%, it's 0 for 2 now. That's not going to continue. Sharangovich, another long shot. He scores! That's what they want to see from the new addition. He makes it a 4-2 game.
The long shots as it drove right by the blocker side of Reimer, and he used Siders to screen. And this came from distance. Came in hot, ripped it, top shelf, and as you said, it's exactly what they wanted to see when they got him from New Jersey in the Tyler Toffoli trade. And this one, the goal that they really needed badly.
I agree with you on the Sider side. Maybe Reimer didn't pick it up, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. That's a gorgeous lifted shot on the left corner there. That was taken with supreme confidence. If they can get that from Igor Sharangovich, while the rest of the big boys are still struggling to get going here. I mean, Huberdeau's got 2 and 2, but they need more from Nazem Kadri and some of the others. Nikita Zadorov, as this gets in between the traffic. Now it's a 2-goal game again. Alex DeBrincat, he might split the middle as he's trying to fight in between 3 Flames. It took that many to dispossess him with the puck. Raymond throws it out in front. Red Wings keep it in with Sider. Now an opportunity for Lucas, as this will be thrown in for Larkin, but he gets expertly stick lifted and kept in nicely. DeBrincat will wrap this around up the backhand, and the Flames now back within 2. They've gotten a goal that they needed to keep themselves within striking distance near the right side of the wall. Dylan Larkin will give chase. This is a long flip, and this is going to be iced inconspicuously, so we'll get a stoppage with 31 seconds left in the second.
All right, I found it, John. Nobody's recorded 100 points in a season in Devils history, but 5 have recorded at least 90. Jack Hughes, Patrick Elias, Zach Parise, Kurt Bowler, and Taylor Hall. Hughes is the most among those for 5 with 99 last year. So if Jack Hughes can keep it up, he can reach triple digits.
I'm gonna say, Alec, because we both agree triple digits. I'm gonna say take it to the bank. He'll get a 120 at a point in his career. He's that good.
Oh, I love that.
So Sprong's got it now. Goss to spare. Into the traffic, a blocker save by Vladar as the Red Wings trying to kill off this final 10 seconds of the second. Have it now in the offensive zone. Here's an opportunity. Sprong with another wrister. This goes off the right pad. David Perron will collect. Working in behind the net. And that's going to end the second period. The Flames do get a couple, but the Red Wings respond as well. It's 4-2 after 2.
And a nice game that they're playing. Detroit. A very complete game from top to bottom.
Well, early in the year, again, it was a 50% 9 of 18 power play going into it. Now they're 9 of 20. Little ho-hum there. And again, I'm just kidding on that end. But the Red Wings offense is averaging 4.8 goals per game at this point. And they're already almost at that number again. Very hard to believe that any of that stuff is sustainable. But the one thing that I will say, Alec, and I know this has been addressed in the YouTube side and we went over it, I think the depth plays a big role. Again, I mentioned this during the free agency side of it. I wanted to see if Detroit could turn themselves into, because this is what Steve Eisman's words were, a Vegas and Seattle light. And what I mean by that is a team that's effectively able to roll out all 4 lines and score throughout their lineup. And we've seen that now. I know the big boys in Larkin and DeBrincat are carrying, especially DeBrincat. I mean, he's been the best goal scorer in the league at the moment. That's not even an exaggeration. But yet the rest of the team has picked up quite well. You got Valeno with 3 goals in the last 3 games. Hall's starting to get some points on the defensive side. Sprong has already chipped in a little bit. So the depth, scoring, good goaltending, at least enough of it. It's been enough for the Red Wings to get off to a good start this year.
For sure, as you mentioned about as big as Seattle light, that was the game plan for Detroit as they rolled up. I think now have the ability to roll out all 4 lines in this lineup, much like Vegas and Seattle have. And they're all well-rounded. They each play a specific role, and they're playing to that role to the fullest of their extents.
Because I wouldn't say, I know we agree on this, I wouldn't say the Red Wings have any superstars, but I think the point that you made is the perfect one. If everybody has their role, they fit into it, and they thrive in it, That's what makes teams dangerous. I mean, look, the Seattle Kraken don't have any superstars, and they took the Dallas Stars in the second round to a game 7, and they beat the Avalanche last year. So you can't tell me that players that don't thrive in their role doesn't mean anything, because it definitely does.
For sure. And just like with Seattle, you mentioned about no, they don't have a true superstar. And even though they don't have one, with how the system is designed to be, they don't truly need one at this current moment. But to have a superstar will be a nice final piece of the puzzle. That was what Vegas did when they started and acquired Jack Eichel. Hughes Brown up the forward court. Mark Stone at his peak in 2019. And you go and sign Alex Pietrangelo. All three of them are still there.
Yeah.
Each of them contributing to that Stanley Cup last year. And they're still around looking to defend that.
Yes, they are. Those are all great trades. They're all slam dunks, and they got that Stanley Cup that they needed. And it also helps when Aiden Hill played out of his mind, and you got a good defensive core. There's a lot of things working in Vegas's favor right now, but it's well deserved. They played it well, and now, again, the trade additions from last year, it wasn't anything flashy, but they made the moves that they needed to make because they knew what they had in front of them, and you had Bruce Cassidy as well. So that is the pinnacle of the organizations right now. Red Wings are trying to get back to respectability. I think they're going to get to respectability at least. I do want to mention this as far as, again, I'm pretty poor as far as my football picks this week. I was 10-4 last week against the spread. I might draw an 0 for this week, to be honest with you, because there are a lot of upsets today. Anything catch your eye?
From one perspective, in all sorts of in the sports realm, in the upsets.
Yeah, as far as the NFL for week 7.
As we look, I'm looking over the NFL. I know the Steelers are up on the Rams 24-17 right now. 2 rushing touchdowns, the first 2 of the year for the Steelers. And we look at the upsets, I wouldn't call this an upset, but the Bears beat down on the Rams. Because these let's not lie, these 2 teams are not really that good.
No.
But the Bears had Tyson Bagans at quarterback because Justin Fields is out hurt. They beat them 30-12. It isn't that the Bears beat the Raiders, it's the way that they beat them. The other upset I'm looking at, the Patriots over the Bills, 29-25 on a last-second touchdown.
Last second touchdown or not, I know the Bills have a 4-3 record. And I know this is me from the outside looking in because football is not always my forte. It's probably one of the last of the big four for me. But I'm concerned with the Bills. I see them as a team that always makes it in the postseason, but I don't know if they have the horses or the will to be able to finish everything off. I always think that they're a good team, but even though they're there, and I will probably have them in the playoffs again, I don't ever see them winning anything tangible.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it that far either. Because this year, one can say it's their last chance at getting it, but I doubt it. It feels like more and more we may be seeing the Miami Dolphins winning their division, the AFC East. But it feels Buffalo, they're still going to be there, I think at least in the wild card. But there are teams that are going to be threatening their AFC East crown. Miami is that biggest team that's looming large, and with the way Buffalo's been playing, who they've been playing, I know they beat down on bad teams and weaker defenses. Against stronger defenses, it may be a different story.
I mean, wasn't it last week that they almost lost to the Giants and now they lost to the Patriots?
Yeah, it was just last week when they faced the Giants and led by their old quarterback, Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
And Tyrod Taylor, for as bad as the Giants' offense looked, he was playing like he wanted revenge on the Bills.
And again, this is a shocker to me. I know the Commanders aren't world beaters, but they do have playmakers on defense. But how do you lose 14-7 to the Giants?
Not only that, literally just 2 weeks after they lost to the Bears and broke that 14-game losing streak from Chicago. And the Giants come out like this. And I know the Commanders, they have playmakers on both sides, both offensively and defensively. Nice coming from Sam Howell and Eric Bieniemy. Nice hiring an offensive coordinator. But there's no excuse to losing to the Giants. I mean, the Giants are 1-5 before this season, and then you gave them their second win of the year? What?
So the Giants, they got 14 points in the second quarter. So that means that the Giants were the only team that didn't have a first half touchdown, and they finally got two.
Oh, that makes the loss for Washington even more inflated.
I wanted to mention this here locally, but I will get your thoughts on it because I understand that I'm from Michigan, but like I told you, the Lions and everybody else, I'm not like Patrick Rush. I'm not a diehard on that side. They've lost their whole lives. They never got into football because of that. It's always been a back end sport for me. I'm more of a hockey, basketball, baseball guy. But nonetheless, I saw a lot of comments today about how the Lions were going to absolutely house the Ravens and that John Harbaugh is overrated and Lamar Jackson's not that good and they can get to him. I think this was a good loss for the Lions to get absolutely humbled and get back to the drawing board because if you're going to disrespect Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh, I mean, the Ravens are always in it. They're always really good. And Lamar Jackson, I think, shows out in big games. And they absolutely punked the Lions today 38-6.
I know the Lions, they kept up pace with the Chiefs, eventually beating them.
Mm-hmm.
But you made a good point about this being a good loss for the Lions because I feel they needed this one to humble themselves.
Yes.
So that they get right back to the drawing board and rethink about what they need to do going forward. Because this game, it showed us what the Ravens can do at their fullest potential. No answer on the field from the Lions. And it was all Ravens from start to finish. Lamar Jackson having himself a masterclass game. The big question I have for Baltimore is if he can stay healthy the rest of the way. He hasn't missed a game in the last 2 seasons in weeks 1 through 10, but missed 10 games in weeks 11 through 18 in the last 2 years. That's something telling.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Again, for the Ravens, they go as much as Lamar Jackson goes. And I won't deny that. Again, I'm very happy for him. I'm glad he got paid over the last couple seasons, too, because I definitely think he deserves it. I do remember there was some talks about some fans that don't really care for Lamar, about kind of the dual threat quarterback, can throw as much as you'd like, but when you can use those feet and throw the way that he can, and I think John Harbaugh, again, is a really good coach. So we'll see what the Ravens do. They're always there. And again, if you're right, if Lamar Jackson stays healthy, that's a showcase of what they can do. And good for you on the side for the Steelers. I hope that they can get this win against the Rams.
It will be a much needed win, not only to help Kenny Pickett out, especially since the Steelers do their best at the fourth quarter. They save their energy for that specific quarter because that's where the Steelers come out on top in most games nowadays. But if this win is a much needed one if we hold on against the Rams.
What's your honest thoughts about Kenny Pickett and the quarterback situation?
There is room for him to grow. So he needs the right offensive coordinator because more and more, am I really convinced that Matt Canada needs to go because he's not that guy that can successfully lead a team on the offensive side of the ball. His resume has him bouncing around from college to college, and the fact that he's bouncing around from college to college so much doesn't speak well in itself.
I got you on that. I've also saw a lot of that on social media, not from the stuff that you just post. I think there's a lot of things against Matt Canada, and I would agree with you on that. I am shocked on this side. Again, I know the Broncos might pick up this win. The Packers do have the ball, but they're down 16-10. Look, people can say what they want, that the NFC North might be the Lions division. I do think that the Vikings, that out-of-conference schedule has been absolutely hellacious, and they still have to play against the San Francisco 49ers, I believe, before they get back in the NFC North, because the final 3 weeks of the season for the Lions are going to be Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings. So if the Vikings start to pick up a couple wins here, and they'll get a couple losses from teams that they need to in this bye week, I think that they're still in it. But I'd be shocked, honestly, if the Broncos go ahead and beat the Packers, because the NFC North should be open. You don't want to lose to a team that's 1-5 and 0-3 at home.
You don't, because that will be absolutely deflating for your team.
In the Sunday night matchup, again, everybody's going to be watching the baseball game. I'll check in on some of that stuff too when I get everything else done for the night. But this has got a good Sunday night matchup, and thankfully, it feels like some of these Sunday night games have been absolute clunkers, but not this one. Dolphins and Eagles, both teams 5-1. I'm going to be looking forward to that.
Oh, this is a good matchup between two of the best teams in the league. Both of them 5-1. The Dolphins don't get their second true test of the season after they lost to the Buffalo Bills in Week 4. Now they go up against an Eagles team, and honestly, the Eagles have not been the same team as they were last year. Instead of the dominant team that they were last season, this year they've been rather off offensively. They're not really playing a full 60-minute game as they have used to in the past, but they still get things done, no matter which way it is, as evidenced by that win over Washington.
Yeah, you can't always make quick work of everybody, but I do get your point because there was a lot of that last year that was kind of a formality. You win games by 30, that seemed like nothing for the Eagles on that side, but they're still completely talented. I know that Alex is going to have the night game. It's going to be ALCS action in baseball. It's the only one tonight, Game 6. Houston trying to close out the Texas Rangers and win 4 straight games. We know what the moniker is at home this year. The Astros were 39-42 in the Space City, but it's Nathan Eovaldi versus Framber Valdez. With all the heat that we got in Game 5, all I'm saying, look out. Appointment television for Game 6. We're going to get even more of that. And should we get to a Game 7, I will be on the call on that side for the Monday end. But I do want to give a quick shout out to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know they lost the game the other day, but when Alec and I did that 2-0 lead and the Phillies won by double digits, we thought this was going to be completely over. At least the Diamondbacks made it a series.
Yeah, they made it competitive. They made it a series, even though last night's result wasn't looking like the result that they were wanting. Back-to-back comeback wins to bring their total to 47 total comeback wins on the year regular season and postseason. That's just one behind a two-way tie between Baltimore and Cincinnati at 48. They know how to come back, but it wasn't there last night. The Phillies needed Zach Wheeler to play at least 6 innings. He played 7, and he delivered 7 quality innings, the outing that they wanted. Because the bullpen, they've been looking rather shaky as of late. And good thing that Wheeler delivered 7 quality innings.
So as you talk about, we'll go into that game. You got the LCS tonight, but going into the pitching matchup, again, that will be on, let me make sure I get that correct, on the Monday side, Merrill Kelly against Aaron Nola to try to put the Phillies into the World Series. Houston's going to try to shoot their shot tonight. And no disrespect to the Diamondbacks, because they did give them their flowers for coming back into the series. But if Texas or the Astros win, and let's say they get in, one of those that we expect to, if the Diamondbacks get in instead of the Phillies and they play against the Rangers or the Astros, you would certainly feel like they'd be chomping at the bit.
They would, especially on paper. You think the Diamondbacks roster isn't as strong compared to these other 3 rosters, but don't tell that to Arizona,
right?
Because they've been outstanding thus far in this postseason. Now I know the wear and tear can go on as the postseason goes on. You can get it for the first round, the wild card round, the divisional round. That could be good. In the league championship series, and that's when it starts to wear off just a bit, and the wear and tear starts to show. But you can still hold up. The World Series, good luck getting through on that wear and tear through 4 straight rounds, no matter which team you are.
Yeah, on that side, if you get to the World Series, any and all pitching will be used, any and all players will be used, and you're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be a good World Series nonetheless. I plan on covering most of those games, and as long as Alec is available, as long as he's not getting stuck working and doing other things, and again, he's got priorities. That's all stuff's got to come first. But I plan on getting most of the games. I might miss like a Game 6 or something like that. Hopefully not. But parents will be out of town, so I get a chance to spend some time with the fiance. She's going to take some time off, so I do have to make sure that I get that squared away because I don't want to get yelled at. I can't always be doing broadcasts, especially when I am pulled away from a local assignment like yesterday. That was a lot of fun. I got an opportunity to cover with the Waterford Sharks and the Gaylord Snow little MIHL action. I actually got a chance to go on the Go Live Sportscast and use those Studio Tech $400 headsets and feel like a real broadcaster. So yeah, it's nice when you get to use good equipment and have some fun with it. So we'll cover those home games on that side for me. But until then, Alec and I will work the World Series when we can, and then we'll get back in the NHL grind because we're going to be doing a lot of these throughout the year, and it's going to be fun. I don't have NBA League Pass this year, but maybe you and I can work some TNT games or ESPN games.
Yeah, we would. And we're looking at the NBA, TNT, ESPN games. And on Tuesday is to start the season. That's in 2 games. So that would be so in those first 2 games, the Suns and Warriors, and the Nuggets and Lakers. But that day is also the scheduled day of Game 7 between the Phillies and Diamondbacks, if necessary, just for everyone to get recapped.
Yes, and make no mistake about it. If that's the situation, that's where we will be. Again, I'm not going to miss that. But everything is upcoming. And as far as anything featured for basketball, we won't forget it. But we know where our bread is buttered on the hockey side. That's what we both love. But we will definitely mix it in. On the next Wingspan side, they're showing Alex DeBrinket's going to show stuff in a high school rink from where he played. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to check that in. Again, you can't have too much love affair with a hometown kid, especially when he's that good. But imagine you got Dylan Larkin, Andrew Kopp, JT Compher, and now Alex DeBrinket and Jeff Petrie. There are a lot of homegrown talent in this team right now, and they're all actually contributing big time.
I love to see hometown kids contributing for their hometown teams. Larkin, DeBrinket, Petrie, you name it, and they're all stepping up in big ways. And I love to see what DeBrinket has been doing with the Red Wings.
I just have to keep reminding everybody that what DeBrinket's doing right now is not sustainable, but he's in a situation, if you capped it through the 82 games that everybody likes to do, he'd have 100 goals. No, that's not going to happen, but he has hit 40 goals twice, and I thought maybe 30 this year. Well, he might be even eclipsing that mark at this point, but still have a lot of games left to play. As the Red Wings have it in the offensive end, we're underway now in the third period. It's a 4-2 lead for Detroit. Valeno off the steal. He was looking for another, but a good save by Bedard in the stomach.
So immediately the Red Wings come out rolling here in this third period, picking up where they left off and looking to fire on all cylinders, which they have been doing right by through Dan Vladar and Joe Valeno. He was hungry for that first third period goal.
I don't want to say this too early, but I know we mentioned this young goaltender's name in the Calgary system, but if things go south and Calgary doesn't continue to get the goaltending that they need, how long is it going to be before we see Dustin Wolf?
Oh no, that's a question that has remained to be answered.
Because we've heard his name a lot, and on the Calder side of it, he's one of those caliber goaltenders that can get the job done. But at some point, you got to put the pen to paper and see him in action, as Derek Lalonde is getting some shout-out time. So I mentioned this with Cooper Hopkins, but I think Ryan Huska looks like Pierre Maguire from the NBC Sports Network, and Derek Lalonde looks like Uncle Fester from Addams Family. We got some lookalikes on both sides, and if you put those side by side, they're pretty much spitting images.
Oh, I can definitely see that, John. They're mirror images from what we've seen.
It really is mirror images, but again, we both like to be on the bench side, make no mistake about it. You only get 32 of these jobs in the NHL. And there's some good high-quality players. Michael Rasmussen takes a big hit, able to keep the puck, though, and Kopp is able to get a reverse hit and able to stay on his feet. As the Flames have it now with Igor Sharangovich, who scored the latest goal for Calgary. I'll leave it here for Mackenzie Weegar. And Weegar still has it now. He'll get back on his forehand near the right side face-off dot in his own end, trying to get around Raymond. Now Osterley will bounce it off his teammate, but the Flames will survive it. They'll get it in the offensive end now with Dylan Dubé. Dubé now will try to go ahead and grab this one in between the legs as Nazem Kadri is there. And now Jordan Osterley, as this will go D to D side, looking for a deflection. A little bit too far there for Osterley. He was the one that was pinched in. Red Wings having trouble trying to get this one out. This could be an opportunity for Calgary. Now behind the net, a chance at it. Reimer hits it away with the stick. And now the Red Wings get it out. They're going to use a long flip. This is expertly hand-eye coordination for DeBrinket. Look at that play as he puts this one back in behind the cage. And now the Red Wings will intercept across the red line with Shane Goss to spare. And he has been one of the best Red Wings, in my opinion. You throw him in on the power play side, he has a very comfortable offensive game. He's translated everything from Arizona and brought it to Detroit. as this is wrapped around the inboards. Again, I remember a long time with the Philadelphia Flyers, he had extreme promise, but still very good. Drive to the net, and this is recollected by Blake Coleman. Coleman now will get this to the forward side, and the Flames look to go left to right in this third period. Have it down to the right side dot. Here's a long wrist shot, and this gets saved by Reimer. Sent back down the ice. Blake Coleman will hustle and pick it back up as he gets around Jonathan Berggren. The stick lift. Ole Mata will find this off the backhand. He'll crisscross this to deep as the Red Wings have it now. Joe Valeno takes a spill, and this will be iced.
And I want to give a shout out to our other friend Ian, who's actually saying out watching the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. His guy's up 24-17 right now. And so far, so good for them as they are beating the LA Chargers and a punt return deep into Chargers territory.
Always nice to give a shout out to Ian. He always joins us in on the broadcast alongside with Alec as well throughout that. He always gives good thoughts and analysis. And I always have to laugh whenever he's in the broadcast. So good shout out for there. Hopefully the Chiefs can end up picking the W, as this is a offensive zone draw win. Be picked up by the Flames. They'll try to get this one back in the Wings' end, but they've iced it across the red line. So a little bit of stoppages here with 16:56 in the final frame.
Just getting a look at Bob Kaiser, the play-by-play voice of the Grand Rapids Griffins, getting the call-up from Grand Rapids, filling in for Ken Cowell. Nice to see Kaiser.
Yeah, he's been doing this a long time. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast I saw in the second. Ken Kell, I saw his tweet. He was broadcasting the game yesterday. He had to go in the midst of a procedure. He was feeling a little bit uncomfortable, so he's going to be gone for about a couple of weeks, so Kaiser's going to fill in. Here's a long slap shot, and it goes in. Vladar had no chance. Jake Wolman with the howitzer.
A Wolman shot from the point after the face-off win by David Perron. You don't see Perron taking face-offs very often.
No.
But that time he got the win with some help from Daniel Strong. And that time Vladar didn't have time to get set. That was a quick shot. And he didn't have time to get set because Wolman gave him no chance.
Yeah, that's a perfect win. And like you said, I'm not even going to say anything against Vladar, but you would have to think Elias Lindholm's not going to lose against David Perron on the draw.
You would think so because Lindholm is naturally a center who sometimes plays on the right wing. That's where he used to play before he came over to Calgary. But that was a great executed play by Detroit. Face-off went by a natural winger.
Yeah, that is something you give the extra gold star to on that side for Perron, as this is picked up. And yet again, I have to say it, a 5-goal performance for the Red Wings yet again. How long is this going to continue? As this is an outstretched pass. Could be a possible break. To break it. Scores!
And the hats come raining down here at Little Caesars Arena. Alex DeBrincat is putting on a show with his 5th career hat trick. Ironically enough, his last hat trick came against Ottawa, the very team that he played last year, and he is surrounded by all the hugs and head pats on this Red Wings bench. And applaud here as Without Me by Eminem is playing along here at LCA. Nice speed, nice goal.
Alec, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now from Alex DeBrincat. That's a great play, a seam pass right in the middle, and an absolute bullet of a wrist shot. He's got a hat trick and yet another goal. And I want to make sure that I get this number correct once it updates, as we'll have to look at this again because it's put wrong in on ESPN. It's got Wolman twice because they can't believe it's so quick. But DeBrincat, a wrister from the left, and that's just bang in the back of the mesh. And Dan Vladar is kind of getting hung out to dry a little bit.
He's been basically getting no help from the guys right in front of him. In that previous goal, he had no time to get set. And here he's getting no help from his guys. Only one guy was back that's helping him out. Where's everyone else? He's wondering. Where are you guys?
6 goals, and Alex DeBrincat, sit down for this, has 8 of them on the season through 6 games now once this is all done. So I don't know what else to say at this point, but keep it up, young fella. I guess 16 minutes left to go in the third. Again, I try to call everything straight down the middle as I can, but I can't say anything else other. This kid's on fire. This is dropped again. Red Wings dangerous, and they're trying to get this one near the left side of the faceoff dot. Played in off the backhand. Wings working in behind the net. This just kind of feels like a scrimmage at sometimes. His sixth career, 4.93 goals and an assist. He's doing everything. As this is played in off the back pass, there's an opportunity for Jonathan Berggren. It'd be nice to see the young forward get some points here. It'll fall back off Backlund and go to Vladar. That could have been bad.
I mean, that could have been disastrous for Calgary once again to give him a touchdown and extra point, because I know Berggren almost had one, but no. It's still a 6-2 hockey game, and 6-2, you would think that the Rangers against the Astros would get a score that would be similar to that or better for Texas to send it to a game 7.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, Alec. This kind of feels like a baseball score, as this is a shot that gets fought away by Reimer and sent down the ice. Now the Wings in quick transition again. I mentioned they average 4.8 goals for. They have 6. They're going to be at 5 goals for after this is done. I mean, it's incredible. And Andrew Kopp now, and across the red line. Flames get the intercept. I guess the Red Wings are using the moniker, well, we can't get a bunch of shutouts, so we'll just continue to outscore you. We'll see if they'll keep that pace, though. Osterley through the traffic might have hit one of the own men of the Calgary Flames. Hopefully they're okay and pop back up. As it's Ben Sherrod, that was Mangiapane took a spill. He's going to go right to the players' bench as this is flipped in now. Vladar will take a look at it right now. It just shows you that Ryan Huska is given the full day off for Jacob Markstrom. We saw him once with the baseball cap early in the first, about 2 minutes in. Haven't seen any of those shots, so Dan Vladar is going to have to wear it today as this is picked up now. And behind the cage, Sider trying to make something happen. Lindholm being pinned against the wall. Ruzicka can't get it free. David Perron will flip this one down after getting a face-off win and an assist. How about that one? As this goes now in between a couple of stick lifts, Flames trying to keep it alive. It's Woolman. We'll settle this one back down for Mo, and now back to Jake. And behind the cage, James Reimer has got to be feeling about as good as you and I do right now. It's comfortable. It's a 6-2 score line. Opportunity here for Larkin off of a windmill dig. He's got it now. Off the stutter step. He'll drop back, work his way in the high slot. He's still with it. Here's a cross pass as he gets knocked away from the puck, but it's not out. An opportunity off the backhand is saved by Vladar.
Oh, I know DeBrincat wants 4. This crowd wants 4. The coaches want 4. And they're throwing over the hats that they collected. But nonetheless, it's been a good day or night of hockey at the Motor City.
Well, 4 is the lucky number right now as we go to break with 13:33 left. The Red Wings are up by that many. It is 6-2. Again, thank you for everybody on the YouTube side. There's been a lot of you that have answered the questions in there anymore. I got Alec with me and get those in. I just put an easy question out there, but it did get a lot of votes. I said, are the Red Wings started to turn things around in your mind? And out of 24 votes, 83% of you say yes. So that doesn't mean playoff team, but I do think that means a competitive team through March. We saw that a little bit last year before the barn doors got blown off against the back-to-back against Ottawa. But you know what? The Ottawa game, that meant something to me yesterday, Alec, on that side, because they fed the Red Wings a lunch last year, and that was a big win. I know Ville Husso stood on his head, but that was the one the Wings wanted, and they got it.
For sure. They wanted it, they got it. Speaking of goalies that were sitting on their head, how about Elvis Merzlikins last night? He's been taking out the Minnesota Wild, but actually, did I say Elvis Merzlikins? I meant Philip Gustafson, because the Blue Jackets put up 50-plus shots. And Gustafson was doing everything he possibly could to keep the Wild in this. Unfortunately, the Wild lost 5-4 in overtime, but by no means was the loss on Gustafson.
So Gustafson, I'm going to pull up this box score since you brought that up. For Philip Gustafson, 49 out of 54, still 907, still very good considering. And I saw that there was a player that got, I think Liam Foudy got claimed by waivers, so he's off the Blue Jackets now. But the Blue Jackets are 2-2 on the season. They're trying to get back to respectability, and I think that young forward group can definitely do that. And alongside for Minnesota, as you talk about with Gustafsson, I think he's already probably put you in a situation. You're not talking about a 1A, 1B. You're talking about a number one goaltender. And I think Gustafsson can do it.
He definitely can. He solidified himself in Minnesota. And you speak on Columbus with Liam Foudy getting waived. He's claimed by Nashville, but that's because of the abundance of young talent. There's just not enough room for one extra guy like Foudy. So there's just not enough room for him.
No, and he's got a lot of speed, so we'll see what Nashville can do with it. Again, they're trying to get some chances. Here's another opportunity. Berggren will have to slow up trying to go for the cross pass, as that gets deflected. Good stick in the lane by the Flames. And now Majapani will be in his off lane. His Backlund will enter. Here's a drop pass. Good setup, but the stick goes too far. Flames keep it in, though. Have it in the high slot. Mackenzie Weegar. Try to spin this one back around the right side of the red line. Here's an opportunity. Backlund. This will get flipped up near the right side faceoff dot and behind the defensive end. A stick chop. Berggren doesn't have a piece of wood here. This one is off the glove hand of Berggren, so he was able to brush it aside, but he can't get to the bench to get a piece of lumber. Now Mata off the pinch, and now they'll get a whistle. That will allow everybody to get a stick.
It appears we have a penalty call here.
So Detroit's going to get their first penalty. It's been a while since we've had any. There was a couple power plays for Calgary in that first that they had to kill from Detroit, but now Ole Mata is going to take a seat.
And that was because he was hooking Blake Coleman up at the boards. And as Coleman, he was trying to protect this puck. And I initially thought that this puck was going to be whistled dead because of a long scrum. But that appears to be not the case.
So it's an opportunity now for the Flames to get something going on the first power play. I know Ole Mott is a former Pittsburgh Penguin as well, but Alec, I always like what I see from him. I know he took the penalty there, but he's not going to give you a ton of points, but he's usually going to play pretty good defense across the board.
Yeah, he's typically going to be at his own. He's your typical stay-at-home defenseman, and that was seen on full display during his time in Pittsburgh during the back-to-back Cup years.
That's definitely what I think, too. You always want to have those. This is my favorite type of defenseman, honestly. No frills. Just get the job done. As Kadri is on the power play side of it. This goes in off the wall. Ryan will take a look at it. It's big hit from Mo Sider. He was cleaning up the trash. This is with Hannafin now, but a penalty hands up in the air. He's going to go for boarding. This goes off Reimer. This stays with the Flames. Flames would be smart to get a stoppage. No, they finally do. It's going to be a 5-on-3.
Oh, my goodness. You speak of that hit by Ford Sider. And I don't know about that hit. It appears that Ruzicka lost his footing when he collided with the goal nets. And Sider, he lost control of himself from what I'm seeing. There was no way for him to slow down there. There was just no way. How else is he supposed to not check Ruzicka because he was going at full speed?
I know that's going to look a lot worse than it actually was. You're right. I'm not trying to make a homer call. Sider's already thrown out a stick to brace himself. Now they got Kopp going in there, so maybe not Sider, maybe a tripping on the other end. But face first on the neck side, falling down into the boards. Was that Ruzicka, correct? So that could have been really, really bad. Thankfully, he's okay.
That could have been a lot worse. But unfortunately, it's the same thing for Ruzicka. I'm glad that he's okay.
So two-man advantage for the Flames. They must score here. This could not be a better opportunity than this. As this is picked up now for Nazem Kadri to the right side dot. Fake the slot for Noah Hannafin. Now back to Nazem. He's got it. He's patient in the high slot. He's going to try to work his way down low near the right side dot. Oh, crisscross now in the middle of the slot. Little Lindholm. Hannafin in his off wing gets it now. Here's an extra pass. Flames desperate to work this thing. Coronado's got a cannon of a wrist shot, but he doesn't shoot it. And the Red Wings get it out. 35 seconds to work with on the two-man advantage. Huberdeau. Lindholm. Here's a cross pass. And an opportunity for Reimer. Don't know if that got blocked in the second one. Does it go in? It got the goal light, but I don't see anything right now.
Oh, that
So Reimer makes the first save. He does not make the second save. So this will be a goal for the Calgary Flames. Sorry about not being definitive on the goal call. There was just so much going on. So Coronado's chance, that gets deflected, and then bang, bang in the back of the net off a backhanded pass, and we will see who that was for the Flames. Jonathan Huberdeau is going to get a goal here.
Yes, I saw it. It is Huberdeau. The refs are going to deliberate right at the penalty box to confirm or check if there's something.
So I'll tell you this, there is no reason now, if this ever got issued from the Detroit side, you wouldn't want to challenge and miss because it'd be a penalty. But they're going to say no goal here. And maybe some goaltender interference that I didn't see.
Yep, that is goaltender interference that they caught. Nazem Kadri, he hit James Reimer as he was coming right in. So they made the right call to backtrack it, and they called it no goal.
So the Kadri hit was from the first contact that was saved by Reimer and lost the goal stick. But that second one for Huberdeau, even though there was maybe a few seconds after that, they're just going to call this one no goal. They're getting clarification with James Reimer right now, making sure he's okay. I'm sure he's shaking up the cobwebs from getting hit in the head. So I thought that was going to be a goal for Calgary, but we play on. They still got a two-man advantage here.
Yeah, that was the right call from the officials. Even though Flames fans won't like it, that was definitely the right call.
So 15 seconds in which to work with on the two-man advantage. See if the Flames can do it again. This one is overskated. Kadri's got it now. As we'll drop this one back here for Hannafin. Crisscross near the right side dot. Hannafin off the sauce. Good save by Reimer. And another one stopped by Reimer as well. So the Red Wings now 5-on-4.
So there's one penalty killed off. We'll see what happens on the second one, but Calgary almost did it on that Hannafin shot and then a rebound chance in the slot. They almost had that.
So I know I'm making a joke here a little bit, but at least this 5-on-3 action against for James Reimer makes him feel like he's with the San Jose Sharks.
And it feels like it. Back in his prime days, back when in his first tenure with the San Jose Sharks, when he was wearing the number 34, not the 47.
He's been very solid this year. I know it's only 2 games, but again, when I talk about it last year between Ville Husso, it was Alex Nedeljkovic and it was Magnus Hellberg, and there was not a lot of help back there. So far, James Reimer is fitting the bill as the Flames go off sides.
And Calgary's shaking their heads because of that offsides, but they need this power play goal badly. They want to get any confidence back.
Yeah, I would have expected. Look, I'm not going to understate the fact that I didn't think the Red Wings would score 6 again, especially off a back-to-back. But the Calgary's not getting housed, but there are some situations in their own end that needed to be cleaned up. And the goaltending, again, like it was last year, unfortunately, we have to say, it just hasn't been there so far this year.
Just hasn't.
So halfway through the third, it's a 6-2 lead. And now Mackenzie Weegar. As the Flames, they might go 0-4 on a two-man advantage. Ruzicka sticking the lane as this one gets taken away. The Red Wings do return to full strength, so inconceivably, the Flames thought they had one goaltender interference turned away. They don't get anything. Still 6-2. Played it up the backhand now near the right side hole as this goes around the end boards now. And Calgary will try to relocate this thing out of Ruzicka. This is dropped for Weegar. Weegar trying to keep this alive. Nice pass in between the legs of Kopp. And a good wrist shot save there, Dubé. He gets robbed by Reimer.
James Reimer, even though he hasn't been truly tested thus far, he has been very serviceable when the Red Wings needed him to be.
That is all you ask for in a situation like that. Again, thank you to everybody on the YouTube side. This one's been popping. I didn't expect in a matinee day game to get as much, but I guess that's what happens when you only have 2 hockey games on the schedule, as Alec and I talked about. The lone one will be Boston and Anaheim. That will be on either Nesson or the Bally Sports Anaheim side, but on NHL Network at 8:30. Anaheim, they are 1-3 on the season with 2 points, but however, I've seen them play a little bit more competitively so far this year. And Leo Carlson, he's finally made a debut, and in that first game, he looked pretty damn good.
He has been looking very good as the second overall pick that he was hyped up to be. Many were thinking that the Ducks were going to pick Adam Fantilli or possibly Matvey Michkov or David Reinbacher to boost up their defense, but they've went with Leo Carlson on the basis of scheme fit under Greg Cronin. So far, it seems they've made the right call.
I would think so too. Again, if I got a chance to see a little bit of the World Juniors, you can't base everything on all of that, but they were always talking about him being a top 3 pick. He goes to, no surprise. Anaheim wants to add to that offense. You still got Trevor Zegras. But they're going to miss, and it's a shame, again, from the earlier year, but for Alex Killorn to miss that time. But this Anaheim team should be a lot better. But the one thing I will say that it hasn't surprised me because I think Logan Cooley is going to be a stud. But the Arizona Coyotes, maybe I can't call them a playoff team, Alec, but I can call them a very competitive team, and I think they will be for the rest of the year.
They will be a very competitive team. About Detroit and Calgary, they are. And for Calgary's side, who knows what we'll see for them. But there's still a long way to go for these two teams. But the Red Wings, it seems like they have the pieces to go for a playoff run.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference, again, I won't mince words. It can be absolutely hell, but we will see. I mean, again, you got Boston 2 more times. You got the Rangers in the mix of it, but you just stack wins when you can right now. When you're scoring as many goals as the Red Wings are, that's definitely something that wasn't there the last couple of seasons. About 9:05 left to go in this third. The Flames need an answer. Good save there as Reimer gets a piece of the Sharangovich slap shot. Igor Sharangovich was look good in this game. That long wrister had a lot of heat-seeking missile on it. That did look good. We want to see more of that because I just mentioned this earlier throughout the broadcast, and we can take a break as this one goes ice for a second. But for Nazem Kadri, when I'm looking at his numbers, it's within this 6 games now, and he's got just 1 point and a -4. I don't know where he's been, but he's got to find himself because the Flames need him.
And a changing of the system could help with Ryan Huska and Daryl Sutter out. But so far, we need to see more of the Colorado Nazem Kadri that has been seen in 2022 and not the 2023 Nazem Kadri because that year for Kadri has been rather forgettable.
Yeah, it has, and you don't really want because he's a good player. You want a Stanley Cup. You respect everything that he's done, but you don't want these contracts to age like spoiled milk because it's a situation where Calgary is going to have to do some rebuilding on the fly alongside some pieces that essentially they're stuck with.
And of all these pieces that they've had, you'd think that they may be making a playoff run of all these contracts that they signed their players to. And they need to live up to those contracts.
Yeah, there really isn't any other way to say it right now. Is Tanev has the puck, it's stolen by Jonathan Berggren, and he will make the smart play, flip it down. He's going to turn on the Jets and try to get to this thing, get a stick chop on Noah Hanifin. He's able to bother him enough to force the Flames to make a change. And now Coleman off the backhand. He's trying to find some space when the Wings have been all over this right now. As it's Sider, he'll brush it away. And that's a dangerous looking pass from Zadorov, but it's just too far for Elias Lindholm. 7:35 left to go in this third. Is Coleman. Here's an opportunity, but he couldn't get a stick on it. It was Adam Ruzicka. He had a golden opportunity on the doorstep, and now here come the Rings again. Alex DeBrincat wants a piece of it, but this one will get blocked, and a penalty is going to come up, and we'll see who it's going to be on.
Showing Lucas Raymond and Elias Lindholm, and it seems Lindholm is going to go to the box.
So a little bit of a hook there, I think, in on Raymond. Is that a chance for a 2-on-1 opportunity for the wing wheel? And again, that might have been one of those situations that you were forced to take a penalty. Let's see. It's just in right on the hands. And that kind of seems just a tad like a soft call, just for a little bit, I'll say.
It seems to be a little soft call, but not that it would matter much.
No, not at this point in the game. I guess I'm selling a different type of narrative that doesn't need to be. As Wallman will pick this one up off the backhand now, and it's Wallman and Gostisbehere. They will mix on the power play. They have been in sync. And the face-off win from the yesterday to set up from Larkin to Gostisbehere, I mean, that was brilliant. You've seen one of the set plays from the Red Wings so far on the power play. Again, a couple of years ago, I can't hit it enough. It just was anemic, and now it's not. Here's faking the slapper as it's picked up by Daniel Sprong. He's been all around it. He's hit a couple posts and lost it in between his skate blades. throughout this game, but it's not through the lack of trying. Confer and Kopp. Kopp will put this around the end boards. Wallman can't keep it in as the zebra will jump out of the way. Red Wings try to find it, but it's offsides.
I know Detroit is on the power play once again, but so far the power play has been clicking on all cylinders. You mentioned about the 9-4-8 King start. You don't see this often from teams unless it is the Edmonton Oilers and how they've been going last year. But Detroit, they've really impressed on the man advantage.
Yeah, and for me, Alec, it's just good, quick passes off draw wins, getting right to the net. And you know what? Honestly, I know this is just an easy thing to say, but when you have the space, take it, shoot it, or make a pass. Don't try to do too much in one effort. And it seems like the Red Wings are just taking care of their business on the power play.
Yeah, all cylinders, all connecting, all sorts of prisms. They connected on that.
Yeah, it really does feel like, again, you mentioned the Oilers. Any of that stuff can make you blush as far as those numbers. Larkin gain the entry here for Perron. Perron will put this in around the window as he'll leave it here for Alex DeBrincat. He's got 4. Sider now on the right side. He wants it back. Fakes the slapper, gets the pass. Move it to DeBrincat. What a bomb! And this one will be saved by Vladar and put back down the ice at 82 miles an hour for DeBrincat. Off the slap shot. He really wants another one, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it because he looks like a pure goal scorer. That's what we've seen in a Detroit uniform right now. Dare I make this mention, and I shudder a little bit, but that's what they wanted with Jacob Verana. Well, Alex DeBrincat is bringing it. Cross pass. This one goes up the outside of the post, and this will stay there. Picked up by Perron as he tries to get this in behind the net. Red Wings keep it alive. A good hopping puck. The DeBrincat touch pass. That might have been a good idea there, but it falls back. Ghost. Work this in behind the cage now with Perron as it'll go to Sider. Sider stutter step near the right side wing. Looking for a lofted pass for DeBrincat, but it's not there. And the Red Wings go 0 for 3 on their power play when they started at 50%. So all good things must come to an end. And that was probably their only power play so far that didn't look mildly dangerous. The Calgary Flames are out shooting the Red Wings 31-28. But the scoreboard in the final 5 looks a lot different. It's a 6-2 lead for the Wings as this is flipped down the ice. Still alive, though, as the Flames have this in behind the cage. This will play it in off the window. Here's a long flip now as this is recollected by Ben Sherratt, trying to use the offhand to keep it alive. Nazem Kadri will pick it up. We'll throw this back to defense and make the safe play off the spin in for Dennis Gilbert. Wrap this around the right side boards. Flames got it, trying to apply pressure, throwing a pass middle of the slot to find Kadri, but too much traffic. And this will fall back to the former Red Wing in Jordan Osterley. 4:15 left to go in the third, and I've had Alec Nava with me for most of this broadcast. Again, I've been pleasantly surprised for what I've seen. I've been glad to have his commentary alongside because he's got a big game upcoming here very, very shortly in the ALCS. As this is recollected off the forehand, and now a battle into the neutral zone. We're down to the final 3:55. Red Wings take a couple stick chops at this thing as Joe Valeno trying to get this loose. And now, here's an opportunity for Dewar. Off the drop pass. Can it stay in? Yes, it will. Walking in and trying to snipe a wrist shot. This one will go all the way around the end boards. So Uyghur will have to find it from Dan Vladar. Vladar has been on board for all 6 of these. They gave Jacob Markstrom the full extra day off. So when the Flames play again, I believe on the Tuesday side against the Rangers, it will be Markstrom in net as Woolman has it. They'll make this pass across off the floater. Be an opportunity here for Sider as they'll wrap it around the end boards. Andrew Kopp will take a look at it now. Near the left side dot, working in behind the cage, trying to make a play, falling down. And yet another penalty against the Flames.
It's going to be on Lindholm again.
So, one of the best players of the Calgary Flames is in the box for a second time. This might be one of those ones you take the game and flush it. You go to break.
It feels like that, certainly, John. Take this game, but for us, we don't burn the tapes. You got to see what went wrong in this game and correct yourself.
So we can say final 14 unanswered points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got the win on the road against the Rams, 24-17.
And a good win, much needed for the Steelers. to build confidence down, not only for Kenny Pickett, the sophomore quarterback out of Pitt, but also the rest of the team. And a good thing that Najee Harris found the end zone. He needs to get his confidence up. The other final scores, the Broncos 19, holding out the Green Bay Packers 19-17. And the Kansas City Chiefs get a second half touchdown after that big punt return from Mecole Hardman in his return to Kansas City. They beat the LA Chargers 31-17. Once again, another shout out to our Chiefs fan and our good friend Ian.
We'll throw another one here. If Cooper Hopkins going to take the beating from the Red Wings on this over the Flames, at least will be happy that the hometown Seahawks won 20-10 against the Cardinals. Look, I understand the Cardinals are 1-6. Take the win. Seahawks improved to 4-2.
I know the Cardinals, they may be a bad team, but among the bad teams, they have a viable argument for being the best bad team in the NFL. They play hard, but they're going to lose with heart.
What's going on with Kyler Murray?
I wonder, because it appears that there is a recovery timetable from his torn ACL, and I don't know if he's going to get moved or not, but it appears the Cardinals, they're losing games, but in doing so, they're keeping things competitive with Josh Dobbs under center. That was a big surprise for me, because Josh Dobbs has typically been a third-string quarterback, but he's playing like he's a high-end backup.
Yes, he is. 3:12 left to go here in this third. It seems like a formality. Red Wings power play doesn't want to go 0 for it early in this season because they've been striking on everything else. But if they go 0 for 4, no worse for wear here. They've been doing a lot of damage, even strength. That's where it matters. You get a shot on the Bally Sports Detroit side between the Brinkett and Larkin, and hopefully it'll be many years to where they can continue to push this franchise forward. Again, as I mentioned with Steve Eisman, he's really only been able to make moves over the last couple of years, having a clean house and shed money from all the bad contracts left from Ken Holland. And now when you have the injury situation in Edmonton with Ken Holland and Connor McDavid and things not looking so good, it's kind of interesting how Edmonton could turn into what the Red Wings did. That would not look very good, especially with the Draisaitl and McDavid coming up very soon in about a year and a half and 2 years' time. So you got to make sure the superstars are happy. Hole off the drop pass near the blue line side as Jonathan Berggren's getting some power play time now. He's going to work this in behind the cage and put this on the right D side. Valeno will take this with Zarnik. This has really mixed up the lines now. And you can do that when you have this type of lead. Wallman settles it down, plays it off of a knee, picks it up off a cross pass, and a good-looking setup for Ben Sherrod. He was kind of moonlighting like a forward, but he got denied by Woodard. We'll do it again, though. 55 seconds in which to work within the power play. Shot goes wide, and Ben Sherrod will keep it in as we're almost down to 2 minutes. Near the right face-off dot, this will be an opportunity. Gostisbehere trying to make something happen here. And I'll pick this back up with Berggren. Cross pass, and it went all over the stick of the Red Wings. That could have been a sure tap in. Wallman lets it go. This one gets blocked out in front and sent down the ice. So some of those power plays for the Wings have been that close. And if you counted the almost, they could almost have a 10 spot. I mean that, honestly, as it's 1:35 left to go in the third. Valeno, full speed, try to gain the entry, play it off the window for Michael Rasmussen. Valeno trying to pry this loose as Rasmussen will use that big body and try to get around Igor Sharankovich. Put it around the end boards. Only Mata will make the smart play behind the cage and get it back. Mata now off the backhand will circle it around. Good plug move by the Wings. Here's a slapper. This one goes way high, sent down the ice, and Ben Sherrod will pick it back up. As the Flames return to full strength, at least the one good thing you can say in this game is they kept the Red Wings power play to 0 for 4 when they were batting 50%. So that's a positive you can take in, but not the 6-2 score line. Rasmussen, and off a couple of bodies as we're down to the final minute. The Red Wings, again, have averaged 4.8 goals for the season. They have a 6 spot as Alex DeBrincat has a hat trick. There's a cross check and another penalty against the Flames.
Oh, this cannot get any more pretentious when it comes to the penalty box and the Flames filling it in. This time, it's not Elias Lindholm, but now it's AJ Greer.
I mean, that's as clear as day. You got the back turn and a lumbar right to the wood in the back of Shane Goss's bear, and I'm not sure why.
I mean, you're trying to do that, but no, you don't have to do that. That hit was unnecessary, both unnecessary and wrong, since you're shoving aside someone, and you land yourself in the box for the rest of this game.
So Goss's bear for Zarnik and now Wallman, as this will be flipped down the ice. So the Red Wings power play numbers will take a hit. They might go 0 for 5, but they'll take a 6-2. Definitely going to get this win as they're going to improve to 5-1 on the season. Flames will fall to 2-3-1, and their 5-game road stand did not end very well here tonight.
No, not indeed. But you look at Detroit, bright start for them and great start offensively, especially you look at DeBrincat and Larkin, that connection coming up top.
Yeah, lots of damage throughout this game, lots of damage throughout the season. And they're going to play the Seattle Kraken on the Tuesday side as the 3-game homestand will continue for Detroit. And it's interesting, we talk about Seattle, Vegas life for Detroit. Well, Detroit's kind of looking like Seattle now when they did last year when they scored a ton of goals from a ton of different players. So whoever's left at LCA comes to their feet. The Red Wings win this one 6-2. What a show from Alex DeBrincat.
A hat trick and a well-earned one for the Red Wings to get the win tonight.
Well, Alec, this was a lot of fun. I wish you best of luck in your assignment tonight. I will be watching as I can. If we get to any Game 7s, we'll be in contact and I'll join you in the booth.
All right then, John.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys.
Hey, put it back. The commercial is not over.
Thank you, guys, for following along. It was quite a game for the Red Wings. It feels good for me to say this at least. I almost dropped the recorder. It feels good for me to say at least that I see them get a win. Again, when I broadcast against the Devils, not so much. They're no different caliber team. But this will be the third broadcast against the Wings and the Flames. I've seen them beat Calgary, but we'll see what they can do against Seattle on Tuesday. If we do get any Game 7 situations, Alec Nava and I will be on the call between the ALCS and the NLCS. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Peace. Talk to you guys soon.